Agreement, the MDA, with ArcelorMittal nears its expiration in 2030, it is my solemn duty as Senator of the people of Nimba to speak clearly, without fear, about the glaring failure of ArcelorMittal in honoring both the letter and spirit of its obligation. I issue this statement to address critical concerns regarding ArcelorMittal Liberia's failure to comply with key provisions of the amended Mineral Development Agreement of 2007. Since the inception of the MDA, the people of Nimba, especially those directly affected in the directly affected concession area, have waited in vain for meaningful improvement in their lives, while AML has continued its lucrative mining operations and boasting of $1.4 billion infrastructure expansion aimed at upgrading its oil before export, while our people continue to endure substandard living conditions and broken premises. The following are unequivocal breaches of the Mineral Development Agreement and undelivered social corporate responsibility by AML. 1. Failure to improve the lives of people within the concession area. AML has failed to improve the social economic conditions of communities within its operational footprint. Despite being in Nimba for more than 2 decades, the people in and around Ikepa live without basic amenities and face hardship, contradicting the expectation of shared benefits from natural resource extraction. The company has made little effort to restore and upgrade housing facilities in Ikepa, leaving our once beautiful town dilapidated and lying in ruins while billions are taken from its soil. This neglect is a betrayal of hopes of thousands who expected decent housing and modern community infrastructure in and around the concession area. 3. The blatant disregard for Liberia's senior management inclusion and the failure to meet 50% of senior management quota by MDA. This is a clear violation of Article 10 of the 2007 amendment. Article 10 of the amended MDA clearly stipulates that within 5 years, by 2012, 25% of the management position should be held by Liberians. Within 10 years, by 2017, that number should increase by 50%. And within 1 year, by 2008, AML was required under Article 10 to appoint a Liberian to one of the top 3 positions of AML, which are the Chief Executive Officer, the Chief Financial Officer, and the Chief Operating Officer. Today, AML top 3 executive remains foreign, with no Liberian occupying that position, in gross contradiction of Article 10 of the MDA. The CEO is a South African, Marco van der Meer. The Chief Operating Officer is Anthony Coken, an Australian. The Chief Financial Officer is Conan O'Brien, a British. This should have taken place. One Liberian should be serving in one of these positions since 2012-2017 up to now. This is not just a breach of contract. It is a slap in the face and gross disregard to the professional Liberians that we have. The framers of the MDA intentionally specified that a Liberian must occupy one of these decision-making roles. AML refusal to comply demonstrates blatant disregard for the laws of Liberia and the empowerment of our citizens. On a senior management level, below the executive level, which is defined as those who directly report to the CEO, there are 19 positions in total. According to the agreement, by 2017, 50% of these roles should have been held by Liberians. Today, as of the date of this press conference, only 42 out of the 19 42%, which is 8 out of the 19, are held by Liberians. Worst of it all, AMLs continue to employ foreigners in roles where Liberians are fully qualified and capable, including the Chief Information Officer, foreign, the Chief Position Officer, foreign, Security Risk Advisor, foreign, and Chief of Staff to the CEO. Mid-level positions that are also supposed to be occupied by Liberians. And we are not met the 50% quota, but yet we are at 42%. These are all senior management positions that Liberians are more qualified to handle. Even more egregious, AML employs foreigners in mid-level technical roles such as truck maintenance, foreman, welding supervisor, among others, who report to Liberians. If Liberians are competent enough to supervise people in those roles, why are these roles not held by other Liberians? 4. Violation of scholarship funding obligation under Article 9 of the 2007 Amendment. Article 9 of the amended MDA explicitly mandates ArcelorMittal to provide an annual sum of $200,000 United States dollars for advanced scholarship for qualified Liberian citizens abroad. This obligation was to commence immediately after the 2007 amendment, meaning Liberia should have received $3.6 million over the past 18 years for that scholarship program. In AML's own 2022 report to the National Investment Commission, it admits that payments only began in 2012 instead of 2007.
Maybe that person could be a Nimbayan. One of them is supposed to be appointed among the 3 big people in Metasti. From 2012 up to now, no Liberian among the top 3 people in Metasti. From 2012 up to now, ArcelorMittal gave out $200,000 for scholarship. They never gave that money from 2007 until 2012. So they owe all $200,000 from 2007 to 2012. That $1 million there in scholarship that our children should be using to go to school abroad. That's also agreement I'm talking about. So a rating that what they must do. The agreement say all the play what they treat trap pass, all the play what the money they must build. That I mean ready. State-of-the-art hospital with state-of-the-art equipment. You all know what I mean? That means when they pay, the hospital they must pay, it must be just the hospital in America, in Germany, and everywhere. No, that what they say, that the agreement is written there. It's written there in Article 8 of the Mineral Development Agreement that the concession area, that Metasi must build state-of-the-art hospital with state-of-the-art equipment. They didn't say one hospital, they say hospital and health center across the concession area. You see how they put wicked up? Then when you go talk, some people want to say you're trying and picking for on the company. I didn't eat my school fee like you. We know it, we read it. So those who are against us, talking against these people, God said our ancestors said we're not bless them. I can stand here and name a lot. They say that you renovate all the houses in Ikepa. 0. They say by now that you be able to employ a lot of people. How many people employ so much? They get less money on the tree trap. By the time you finish, they fire you. They road are passing here. They're going all the way to Green Hill Quarry. They see road what we're talking about here. ArcelorMittal to face the road 2 times a year. They can even face it 1 time in 10 years. But I want to tell you, before then, there was no Nyatwain. But Metasti, Nana, you got Nyatwain. I will be on you until you're. That means when they pay, the hospital they must pay, it must be just the hospital in America, in Germany, and everywhere. No, that what they say, that the agreement is written there. reading Article 8 of the Mineral Development Agreement that the concession area that Medasi must build state-of-the-art hospital with state-of-the-art.
Bob blood again, but I promised the public that I would have brought you so we hear your side. What went wrong with the committee that visited Yekepa recently to do an assessment of some of the things Aslamanda said it was doing? I'm asking because the chair of that committee, your colleague Senator Numenu T.H. Batikwa, was here. And he said, why is Nya behaving like he didn't know we're going there? He was informed. We got to Ganta. We spoke to Nya. In fact, he said, what Nya did was terrible. The people would have seized us. They would have beaten us. He's from Nimba. He spoke the way he spoke with all kinds of characterization of the committee. But then he went on to say, Aslam Mentao insisted that we should not put Senator Twine on the delegation. Sorry for the words, because he's quote unquote, I don't want to use, but he's tough. He's arrogant. He seemed not to be listening to us. And so we decided to take the company's instruction because we did not want confusion. What went wrong?
First of all, I did not know that they were going to Nimba. That's the first thing I want to establish. Second of all, they had no business going to Nimba. That's the second point. Third of all, you cannot sit on public radio as an elected official of your country and tell the population that the company that you should be having oversight over tells you who not to come to a meeting. First of all, fun fact, I have been invited more than 15 times. I got receipt to that for a one-on-one meeting with the CEO of ArcelorMittal. I have turned those meetings down. I do not want to even meet ArcelorMittal just ordinarily, other than a formal organized Senate hearing or a briefing with the Legislative Caucus. I have repeated that to them. So even if I was invited on that trip, I wouldn't have gone. The fact that that trip was going to be even on ArcelorMittal's concessional ground, I was never going to go there because I don't see the rationale of going there. Why are you going there? You going to inspect?
This is a committee set up a plenary, Senator.
First of all, let me clarify this. The public needs to know that the Senate, being robust, is trying to set up a comprehensive committee comprised of different chairpersons and committee members to review all of the concessions in the country, to have a workshop, let's say a retreat, whereby there will be international experts, people who got, wealth of knowledge in mining, integrity institution, who got expertise in how to track, taxation and transparency. The Senate going to bring them together along with concessionaires to actually look into what we can do to improve our deals with the concessionaires. That committee was announced, the MDA committee sort of, and it was announced to plan a retreat of the Senate that has not taken place yet. It was not meant to go and visit ArcelorMittal. I wrote a complaint to the Senate plenary. It was endorsed, and ArcelorMittal came for the briefing. We had a 4 hours briefing that didn't end. And so we postponed the hearing and we kept them on oath. So by matter of fact, ArcelorMittal is still going on a Senate hearing. But then we closed. So when we resume in October, ArcelorMittal by right should be coming to answer additional questions. If in the wisdom of Chairman Badikwa and the Senate leadership, ArcelorMittal shouldn't come.
Good evening, folks. Welcome this evening to BKS TV and welcome to the Heat Hour show here on BKS TV. On the Heat Hour, we say dialogue and not confrontation. We say words and not bullets. In tonight's edition of the show, we'll be hosting Senator Nyan D. Twine Jr. of Nimba County. And our discussion will center basically around Nimba County and coupled with some national issues here too as well. The show is being relayed on Voice of Leway and also on Voice of Tapeta in Tapeta City, Nimba County, and Voice of BKS2 as well in Butuo Town, Nimba County. All of the panelists are here tonight. Let me say good evening to all of you and welcome to the show this evening. How you guys doing? CEO, Veteran Mafasin, my brother Chris City, our mother, Mana Lorena Donke. Good evening to all of you and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
It's great having you on here. I think our guest will be joining us in any moment from now. But before we do that, let's hear you what's on your mind this evening. Yeah, the African Cup of Nations begins today with Morocco playing Comoros, and I think Morocco is still in the lead as we speak. But let's hear you guys what's on your mind this evening.
Yeah, today is not a good day for football. You know, they defeated
The
my
female
defeated my team today. You know, but here's the interesting thing. Oh, our guest, the senator, is also a big fan of Man U. So we'll want to hear from him. What's his take on it? But yeah, it's not a good day for football, especially when it comes to Man U. And secondly, I don't know what happened with Lofa County and what was the other Bapolu? Yeah, they tend to be in the county media. They tend to be not happy because they were not qualified. I heard a lot of you know, when it comes to fighting and things like that from their fans. I think we don't need that in our body of football or anything like that. Football county media is about bringing people together, regardless of the result. I think we should accept that and move on. But seeing people fighting referees because they feel they were cheated and stuff, I think we all should frown on that, and hopefully we learn from that. But overall, yeah, looking forward to today's stuff. But the guest is ready, so let's try to wrap it up real fast, and then we'll bring him on. He's here for an hour and 30 minutes, I think.
Okay, veteran, let's give you 30 seconds after you go to Grace, and our mother, Lorena, don't care with us on what's on your mind, and we can bring the guests on.
Well, I just want to build on the Man United man. He said today is the bad day for football. I would want to say it's a great day for football for the fact that the great boys of the mountains, the Nima County team, qualified to the carpet. I think Monrovia is where the real game is, and all of what happens behind the scene is considered behind the scene. And I want to congratulate the football and keyboard team of Nima for making it, this far. And I look forward to Nima being Nima, doing what Nima knows best to carry the great trophy. And I want to say thank you to all the leadership and the management of the team, including county administration, county leadership, and all the actors of Liberia and Nima County who made it possible to have our teams reach this far. And not forgetting Thomas Flaw, he's always played a significant role in the lives of football in the county. So that's what's on my mind.
Thank you so much, Veteran Mavasi. My brother Chris Silly, let's hear you quickly.
Let me say good evening to everyone. CEO, accept the result. It is, Man U now in phone nowadays. So yeah, accept the result. And let me say congratulations to Lofa County because my mentor, almost like a father to me, that I've been recruiting for Lofa. So my second country I share with Lofa and also the boss of Grand Basso, because those are countries that whenever they in the lead, they pull the crowd, the momentum. And a small country that came out that can be compared with Tabata District coming to the tournament, how many fans they will bring. So I prefer Lofa coming to the campaign.
Lofa qualify.
Lofa qualify.
The boys are qualified.
Oh,
okay. The boys are qualified. So I prefer to come to the campaign. So we major difference for get more money when it comes to the fan. Again, we look forward to see the senator, so we can have some interactive discussion, including political discussion also on the show tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mana Lorena. Don't care. Welcome to the show. Let's hear you, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening to our followers and listeners in Radio Land. And I would like to say something I have said before on this show. I said a radio station or media outlet is not a court of judgment. And where you think whatever you say, everybody must agree with what you say, and people who don't agree with it, you tend to get at them in unprofessional way, you know. So yesterday on the show, people gotta get the way they understand the revenue sharing act. Some people say it has started, it had kicked off because it was passed. And while I believe that there are many laws in Liberia, like for example, the Liberia Domestic Violence Act, it passed, but it's not into effect. So and there are laws that got some challenges. They are just there. They are either partially implemented, like the Local Government Act is being partially implemented. It's not fully implemented. They are for technical reasons, also not administrative reasons. And that's the thing with the Revenue Sharing Act. It was passed during the time of former President Weah in 2021. And then in 2024, some regulations around it was adopted by this administration, but still it had not been passed. But because somebody feel that what they say must be the end, as soon as I end my statement, the whole scheme to call me a liar that I lie to the public and in fact and say I'm limited. And I just want to say to you, Junior, to anybody else, if we're discussing a topic and you think the person is limited, put in your professional setting, say, I think you have limitation on this topic. But to just say somebody is limited, even the old man are playing okra in Guam, she's not limited. There are things that she knows that I don't know. You know, so to just
Thank you.
just for the future, and I stand by what I said last night, because even there was a lawyer watching the show last night who sent me a long text. I didn't see the text until the morning, and I called him. And we talk about it, say what you say is true, and he named other laws that have same problem. So
Thank you. Thank
what you
you,
believe is
Madam
what you
Lorena.
believe, because that's your field of study. What I believe and what I believe, because I read and I ask questions, but it doesn't mean that I must come on an attack because you are a court of judge. So what you say must be the final. We should treat
Thank you
each
so
other
much.
with respect, regardless of age, regardless of sex and gender and everything. That's all I like to see.
Thank you very much. Our guest will be joining us any moment from now. But tonight we are privileged to be joined by Mr. Peterson Walker. Peterson Walker having to be the former PMC chair of Nima County. So therefore the discussion will be good tonight. It'll be great. Mr. Walker, welcome. I think you are not a guest here tonight, but a panelist, so we want to hear from you what's on your mind. In maybe 30 seconds, we go to our brother Cyrus and we bring the guest on. You are muted.
Okay, I'm okay. Am I good?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, CEO and the panelists of BKS. I'm thrilled to be here. It's my privilege to be among the giants of Nima and share this flow with you. And I will be looking up to the senator to discuss detail about what Nima interest is like, especially concerning the discussion at the Sambo, Madam Dunket's position on the issue of the revenue sharing. I would like to contribute to it as well. And many issues concerning the budget, how I see what NIMA stand to produce when it comes to filtering our interest into the PSRP of the country. What is the process? How is it? How NIMA leaders are keeping track of the development priorities of NIMA getting onto the national, agenda, and how are we utilizing the opportunity we have with our county and social development funds in our county? These things, when they are on the floor, we will love to be part of it. Also, where we are as people from the Unity Party, what are we seeing? Is NIMA benefiting as people who supported this government to the letter? What is the share that NIMA is boasting of today? Are we fighting among ourselves? Are we moving further? These things will be important that we look up to them. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Walker. It's a great pleasure to have you on here tonight. My brother Cyrus Dankwan, welcome. Let's give you 30 seconds after you go to TK Way.
Yeah, before Cyrus coming, I just want to do a quick overview here and give some layout of today's program. We have the senator, or we'll be hosting the senator, obviously, so he's our guest. Let's try to, take care of our time. Let's try to keep our time, our questions under 2 minutes. That way, we'll be able to hear from the senator, and he will have more time to expand on most of these conversations that he has, instead of us taking 4 or 5 minutes to make our point. So I just thought to share that. Let's try to keep it under 2 minutes. Then we'll have enough time to be able to ask him questions more. So Cyrus, you can go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, CEO. Good evening to everyone on the panel, and good evening to our listening audience. Last night when I left the show, I noticed that Madame Donker tried to mislead our followers as to her interpretation of the implementation of law. When she said law has suspensive effect when a statute is passed into law, it can be implemented right away. That's a misrepresentation of the truth. I'm a student of law, and I understand that subject matter. So I just thought of making this clarification. When laws are made, when statutory laws are passed, what happens is that the law begins to take effect immediately after the passage. So this is a universal concept. What she tried to misunderstand is the issue of non-retroactivity. This is a doctrine. Non-retroactivity of law means law does not regulate past happening. If somebody committed a crime in 2015 and certain laws are passed by the legislature in 2025, the law passed in 2025 will not be made to prosecute or punish the happenings in 2015. That's why retroactivity comes in. So that's the concept she was trying to misapply, that when laws are made, they don't just get implemented. The lawyer who told her, the lawyer misled her, the lawyer lied to her. That's not true. Nowhere in the world that the legislature will pass law and that the law will be suspended until a certain time. It's not true. Well, we are looking forward to having a fascinating conversation with the senator tonight. We pray that most of our people follow to listen to the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The senator will be joining us very shortly. Again, this show has been relayed on a couple of radio stations tonight in Nima. Therefore, we ask those that are watching us on Facebook, if you have any question for the senator, you can drop it in the comment section. If possible, we'll read it to him so that he can answer them. DK White, let's hear you, Chief.
I'm in babysitting.
Yes. Something is wrong. But again, I want to welcome all of you to the show this evening. Mr. Peterson Walker, you have vast knowledge on the issue that we are about to discuss here tonight, especially when it comes to the revenue sharing law of Liberia. You guys have separate version that you were working with, and thankfully those acts were repealed, and we have the revenue sharing law of Liberia currently. Now, this is an intellectual discourse, and we all have to respond to certain issues. The point that Madam Lorena made, if in any way I said last night you are limited, I want to take that word back. But the context I was speaking in was that the subject matter to which you were responding to, there was some level of limitation there. So I cannot take it back, and I apologize for that. But again, here is the case. In Liberia, we are common law system. That means our executive make laws, our judiciary make laws, even the legislature, being the main organ or the main body of lawmaking, they make laws too as well. This revenue sharing law, or the revenue law of Liberia, was passed in 2023. When they say passed, it means it was, enacted into law by the legislature, signed by the executive, print out as a handbill. My comrade Sarah just said it. The principle of non-retroactivity is a universal principle. It works across the world. If for any reason this law is not being implemented in Liberia, there should be a reason given. And that reason should be in the law. The commencement date of that law should be within the handbill. But there is no commencement date within the handbill. That means that law takes immediate effect upon the president's signature to it. But now, this is the issue that we're facing currently. If we go by that law, NEMA stands to benefit a lot next to Montserrat. Because if you check Liberia, our revenue or our economy is in both NEMA and Montserrat. NEMA having to contribute immensely to our economic sector. You have ArcelorMittal in NEMA. You have Logwato port of entry in NEMA. You have the Ganta port of entry in NEMA. And the good thing about the revenue sharing law is it didn't only speak of mineral resources generated from the county. It also spoke of local revenues that are generated from the counties. Now, in the local revenues that are generated from the county, the revenue sharing law says 40% of taxes generated from the county locally will stay with the county. That means the money we generate from the Logwato port of entry, the money we generate from the Ganta port of entry, even the money we generate from businesses, the taxes that are collected from businesses, 40% will stay with NEMA. Come to think of it, you have ArcelorMittal operating in NEMA. Whatever amount that ArcelorMittal will give to the government of Liberia in taxes, 10% will stay with NEMA County. Isn't this a good law for us? If this law is being suppressed by the executive, bringing in something that is not enshrined within the law, saying you want to set up a committee first that will manage that money. How many committee you want to have in a county when you already have the 9-man council that manages the county money, that manages every activities within the county? The 9-man council is there, but you want to set up separate committee that will bring another problem within the county to haul and pull within the county when this is not enshrined within the law. But again, we are all here to agree and disagree to issues. We discuss it, we leave it. It will be a wonderful show tonight. It will be a great one. Mr. Walker is here. Siawite Zogetua is joining us. And of course, Siawite, welcome. Let's hear you what's on your mind this evening, Chief.
Thank you, Junior, and good evening to CEO, the non-political CEO.
don't say Lorena go after me.
No,
you were the first to come here yesterday. You say,
and the lone female on the show says Lorena, my in-law sister, but I know she run away. She go better war, a better people, and from better war to Uru, not far there. I just across the road, so I know that the distance.
Once an inlander is always an inlander. She's not going anywhere.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a pleasure to be here and to be brother Marvel Singh, the veteran, and of course, chairman. Once a chairman, always a chairman. You know, we want to make a man party chairman in NEMA. They fought. We got to align, realign. So the chairman is in two forms. So I mean, it's a pleasure to be here. John Brother Cyrus and Chris City, who don't have, I don't know whether he's a CMC or what kind of man.
I say Lorena, you pay, and will tell you part of it. Don't do.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a good show. It's a pleasure to be here because I'm on a show with a lot of big brothers and big sisters, and you know, people we have not interacted for a while and we have good experience with too. Sometimes when we are on the show, we feel at home. And to everyone who make it a business to be here every night, I mean, it's a good thing. So what is on my mind is basically, I think we'll be hosting the senior senator or junior senator. I don't know, but when you come, maybe you'll answer that question. I don't know who bears that title constitutionally. Or so
Koga is a senior senator.
I mean, I don't want to open.
Numerically speaking, Koga, because Koga has Senate 13, you have Senate 14.
70, I think now I understand why people were attacking you yesterday, because you can come with this subtle, argument, you throw it, and you Ale, you're not paying attention to it. So the other topic that we can save that one for another day. We'll
No,
focus on more different things
but the
today.
people that who understand all the one, maybe they will make it explicit. You know, experience is different too from the law now. So I mean, it's a good show, and I know when the senator comes tonight, basically the good thing is we got experts who understand the language of the financial thing, both our local stuff. They will also tell us how it works and all of those discussion. But for me, there are series of arguments. For me, I don't want to jump the cat out of the bag. For now, I will reserve some of the conversation when the senator come, because I don't want, the way how people look at the media. Our role here is to critique and our leaders. So sometimes when we come on the show, people feel that, oh my man, you're becoming lefty. We are not lefty. That has been some of our position from day one. So our role is to see Liberia, more specifically Nimba, the betterment, the better side of Nimba. To see the best side of Nimba, because I mean on the overall, while we are discussing federal panelists, we are all Nimbaans, regardless of whether you are Unity Partisan, you are CDC, you are Kyushin, all of that. At the end of the day, what we all fight for is Nimba. And I mean, it's just like you are in your father's house and maybe your mom dish your food. This could be the food, and you see yourself at the least level. And when you look at yourself as a fresh child, or maybe the senior, they are not giving you literally anything. So it ping everyone. That's why you see, even when we go to the county meet, the approach to the county meet is quite different. When it comes to supporting even the sports steering committee, the way we introduce the support, that's where you saw Lofa coming in. You saw other counties, Grand Bassa, and the rest of the counties are copying from us. We are great. While it's true, we we do all of those things, build our own country from our own pocket. But what is for Caesar should be given to Caesar. So I mean, from that point, we had a lot of conversation here tonight. And with the introduction of Big Brother Peterson, we understand that aspect too. Everyone here will also make that point, because for me, if the issue of law is that what we will also focus on, then we should also be looking at what is also happening in the context. But like I said, there are a lot of things we'll raise out to now. We don't want to jump the cat out of the bag. We are with the senator, but on the overall, we are waiting to hear what our chief get to tell us today. But I mean, last night too was a good show, and Garrison, he spoke a mind. Onoyelu spoke a mind, and that was a very good show. The politics will play, but when it comes to reality, we address the reality. When the political turn comes, we all wear our political jacket, and face the political side. But once it get to do with Nimba, we got to speak about Nimba. So I mean, I'm excited to be on the show tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Siawete Zogetua, Mr. Siawete Zogetua. Thank you very much. While we are with but Mr. Mugagwe. Anyways, while we are with the guests to join us, I think we can keep the conversation going tonight. We have three experts from the county administration. Veteran Mafasin is here, who served as development superintendent for 7 to 9 months during the Unity Party regime. And Mr. Peterson Walker is here. He also served as chairman for the PMC. And Siawete Zogetua is here. I think he served as one of those, members of who at the level of the PMC too as well. So we can start the discussion or the conversation with this entire 10% from Asylum mentality, and let's hear your side of it. What do you think? Do you think that our lawmakers should have stand their ground so that this 10% can be given to Nimba County moving forward? Or you think the trend they took by not standing up for Nimba County was also right? I want to start with you, Veteran Matheson. You serve as development superintendent. This 20 million, quote unquote, 20 million was given to Nima County. How would it benefit Nima? Let's have some conversation while we're with the guest.
Before we do that, I just want to give a quick announcement. So the senator is working on logging in. He just had little technical issues, but we are working on that. He should be with us shortly. Once that is resolved, within the next minute or so.
Okay, thank you. So we give each person maybe 1 minute on this. Veteran Matheson, let's start with you. After you go to Mr. Peterson, Walker, Siawete, Cyrus, and the rest of the folks.
All right, thank you. First and foremost, 20 million, as we all know, is quite a reasonable amount, and when used appropriately, is going to carry us a long way, especially given what some of us have over the years proposed, that there got to be some form of business approach to the county social development fund so as to ensure its perpetuation than to just use it for many initiatives that are not sustainable, because the mountain from which the money is given, or the natural resources from which the money is being given, is depletable, and the reformation process geologically takes thousands of years. And so you wouldn't want to run it to zero while waiting for thousands of years, especially not even 100% sure that the various geological conditions that created that amount will be, consistent. So 20 million is quite enough. But before, I conclude on that, I believe once the revenue law is passed, it's now the working tools legally. I'm not a student of law. First and foremost, I must make that notation. The only thing that could have happened, based on my knowledge and experience, would be the releasing of that amount for expenditure, whether for development purpose or whatever purposes, would not be possible until the board is set up. But to deny NIMA on the basis of the board being set up, I think is something that I see as a new phenomenon that has been introduced. Our lawmaker should have stood their ground to make sure that that money is made available, even if it is not given to the county for this, but if it is not disbursed, it must be kept in extra account until some of the requirements are met, which happens to be the board. But you can't say in the absence of the board, the law will not be implemented because the board has to be set up. Until the board is set up, that's when NIMA's 20% revenue sharing will be, 10% revenue sharing will be available.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think we cannot go for a round discussion again because our guest is already here. Let me say good evening to you and welcome to the show this evening, Senator. How you doing? Let me try to unmute you. So, Senator, you can unmute yourself, please, because I cannot do it from my end.
There you go.
Is it done now?
Yes, sir. Welcome.
Okay. All right.
How are you doing this evening?
Well, I'm okay, and it's a good thing to join you guys tonight and to be part of the process of discussing the future of Nima County.
It's great having you on here, Senator. I think this is your debut appearance. A lot of people looking up to the conversation tonight. We are glad to have you on the show. The festive season is around the corner. Anything in package for the Nima people?
Usually we deal with the core team and the cell members during the festive season. I don't want to announce it to them tonight so that they can start getting all on my chief of staff tomorrow. So usually the core team and the sales that we deal with across the country usually, have some level of package which will be remitted in the coming days. So yeah. Other than that, we'll have other package, we'll have other things that are going on that, we'll keep it under the wrap until further notice.
That's great. Welcome once again to the show. Welcome.
Thank you.
Everybody know who you are, so no need for introduction here tonight. Let's cut to the chase and just go strictly to the discussion. This issue of the national budget has become issue of concern across the country. And recently, during the passage of the budget, you were seen absent from session. What went wrong?
So, for beginner, let me just state that in legislative politics, there are several ways to vote. You can vote yes, you can vote no, you can abstain, and you can further abstain by being absent or by walking out. Let me be clear with the people of Nima and the Liberian people. I will do everything possible for this rescue government to succeed. Let no one be on any illusion. I'm a unity party lawmaker. I'm a rescue lawmaker. But you know why? In as much as that, I will stand for the people of Nimba, and I will try to balance the act. I see a lot of people, trying to take legislative politics, the student politics. It's a balancing act that if you don't master, you will either become a noise maker, like some of the guys in the lower house, who just go to Capitol Hill, make noise in the morning, they put you outside, and that's it. You don't affect anything. Or you masterfully, craft your path and have an effect on policy issues. And that is the reason why, as a member of the budget committee, I worked along with several other lawmakers on the budget. But from the beginning, and my colleague can bear me with it, I have never wanted for ArcelorMittal, for example, $200 million unratified amount to be in the budget. Because we haven't seen that agreement yet. And that agreement, we have had several other issues that we are outlined to the government. First of all, I have advocated that ArcelorMittal is in gross violation of the current MDA. And so they need to retroactively go back and correct issues in the current MDA. And then the new MDA should correct some of the things that we didn't put in the old MDA, such as, number one, the roads, the community development projects that we left at the whims and caprice of ArcelorMittal to do it under social corporate responsibilities. And that's one of the reasons why I voted against Avanho. Because in as much as Avanho, I made Avanho, the IMCC, the Interministerial Committee on Concession, made Avanho to write a letter that they will pave the 22.5 kilometer road from Togade to Ikepa border. And they will now haul the old on Dusty Road. And the IMCC wrote to the Minister of Transport. When the letter arrived that morning, the pro-tem and many senators were saying, okay, Nyan is satisfied now. Nyan is satisfied now. I walked into the room, they gave me the copies of the letter. Every senator has that letter, by the way. Before we could vote, that's why we were in session up to 8, 9 o'clock. Because it is a letter, I don't believe in it. It's a commitment from the company. I wanted it instead. I want to also reject the Avanho agreement. Let it go back to the executive. Let it enshrine in it that the road will be paid before it comes to us. But because they didn't do that, and because the effort that they made towards satisfying certain things, I refused to vote for it. And from my legislative lobbying, I knew they had a number to pass it. So I never wanted to be a part of it. The national budget had $200 million there for ArcelorMittal. This agreement, we haven't seen it. And let me tell you one thing that I was explaining to you last night, I delayed the agreement. And that will just be my last question before your next question. Number one, I want you to understand exactly how some of us have approached legislative politics. I'm a freshman senator. I got my own way of doing politics and breaking away from the past. If anyone here or in this country think that I would do the same old thing that other people did, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry to offend you. I will not do things the way it used to be. I am a policy specialist. I'm a policy advocate. The way you go about these things, you do it for results. So what did I do with ArcelorMittal? For the very first time, for the last 7 years, no concession company has stepped forward to Capitol Building for review. I made sure I put ArcelorMittal on the floor of the Senate to come and answer to why they violated the concession that they have, the MDA. The public knew. They lied to the public that they built that concentrator for $1.4 million. The hearing that I dragged them to, it uncovered that they built a concentrator for $250 million. The hearing that I called into, they admitted that even though Article 8 of the MDA suggested that ArcelorMittal must build hospitals and clinics state-of-the-art and well-equipped across the concession, ArcelorMittal had not built one clinic. These are not my words. Go back to the clip of the hearing. I brought them there. They admitted to all of the violations. They should have paid the road on social corporate responsibility. They should have rehabilitated the houses in Ikepa. They admitted on oath that they didn't do it. This is your humble senator who brought them on oath to admit those things. We passed that stage. The legislative caucus called me in and said, "Yeah, gave us some pointers." We listed some pointers to the legislative caucus. The leadership of the Senate called us after that meeting, after that hearing, gave us some pointers. I gave those pointers to the leadership of the Senate. The Senate is now in charge of the ArcelorMittal gross violation of the MDA. The NIMBA legislative caucus went one step further, not only taking charge of those points, but we arranged a meeting with the president and we went there and we met the president and we laid bare. At that time, the president had one more day to go to France. It was all speculated around here that the president was going to sign that agreement either before going to France or while he is France. Why? ArcelorMittal is a European-backed company and France is leading that effort. Do you people know why that agreement was withdrawn? It was almost submitted, was withdrawn because the NIMBA legislative caucus made a representation that was strong enough. In that meeting, the president said, "Wow, you mean these things have not been going on?" Do you know what caught his eye? The non-declaration of profit by ArcelorMittal. When ArcelorMittal does not declare profit, you and I will not be able as a country, as a country to get dividend on profit. And from my calculation, ArcelorMittal owe us $1.4 billion from 2005 up to now. But what puzzled me much, and I want to end on this point, people say, "Oh, Nyanda hustler, Nyanda hypocrite, Nyanda lie." Where is the lie? I have submitted my points to the leadership of the Senate in the committee room. We are waiting for the ArcelorMittal agreement to come. The president of the Republic of Liberia has delayed the signing of ArcelorMittal deal. All the concessions in the country came beside ArcelorMittal because of our work. ArcelorMittal, for the first time in the history of any concession in the country, put a $200 million upfront for signature fee, unprecedented number. Don't you know it's as a result of our work? So I really want to know from many of the panelists who were all on me and what have you, where have I gone wrong? You want me to wake up in the morning, brief ArcelorMittal and go ArcelorMittal? I have already made the strategic interventions. What else do? I should just wake up, just be calling a name, as though I don't have any legislation to follow or any other things to follow? No. So because I haven't seen that agreement, and because of the gross violations of the current MDA, and because of the goodness that are in the budget for the people of Liberia, And because I'm a member, an executive committee member of the Unity Party, and mind you, you cannot just jump out the legislature, just be voting no or yes for things. You have to balance your eye. You will need people to help you to pass legislation. It's easier to say from what you said, but this is a lobbying and a numbers game. However people want to, interpret my post, but I thank God for giving me wisdom, because that's the only thing I have prayed this old man for. I pray to give me wisdom. And the wisdom he's giving me is guiding me through the process. You don't want to offend your political institution to as much as possible that the budget that they adore, that they hit $1 billion. But equally so, you don't want to compromise the interest of your people. So because you haven't seen that agreement and you got problem with the current agreement, so you don't vote for the budget. You wait until you see what's behind the $200 million. And there's a history in this country that ArcelorMittal agreement was denied in 2023. Who told you ArcelorMittal agreement cannot be denied in 2025 or in 2026? It's possible. If honor in George Weah government, that government that brought Eaton and Eboma, that government that promised you Bali Island, if that government can deny ArcelorMittal ratification, who told you the government can deny ArcelorMittal? So because I'm not sure what will happen, I did not vote for that budget, but I could not vote no also because I support a lot of elements. And let me give one clarity here, then I pause. Besides the ArcelorMittal agreement, besides the ArcelorMittal $200 million, the government budget will still be in $1 billion. That's the clarification I wanted to make. And I want people to note that the budget is in a draft. Tonight, I've been asked me for documents to present, but I will close on this point, and it will anger some of you that I will not go into the detail. This is the budget working documents. As a member of the budget committee, you see the documents? They are the documents that will constitute the final budget of this country. What you saw over there, that draft, it is our duty as legislator to draft the national budget and to consummate it on behalf of the Liberian people. For instance, people say PYJ not in the budget. PYJ was in the budget last year. PYJ had double in the budget this year. Do you know what can happen? The budget book that you see, gentlemen, it's a voluminous document. Sometimes you don't get to put everything in this book. So what do? The budget working people have corresponding and appendix. Thank God Honorable Yelu, he knows that. So the budget working people will accompany certain additional institutions that get on it. That's how I included PYJ last year. And PYJ is in the budget this year at the university. But let we not forget that it's a travesty that the university were already facing some problem prior even to the women passing. But those are things that we'll go into deep in the show that I don't want to talk about. But since we're talking about budget, some of the concession, I just wanted to clarify that until the final budget can come up, you wouldn't know exactly what constitutes which sector and which county benefited. And counties are not in competition with the national budget. No, the national budget is drafted based upon needs. So I want people to understand that. But I will pause here for a little while on the question of the budget and take your next question.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This will be my last question because we have a lot of panelists on here tonight and everyone needs to ask their question too and make their input. Now, you didn't vote yes on the budget. You didn't vote no on the budget, but you walk out. And tonight you're making a really good point to us that the reason why you left is because of ArcelorMittal $200 million unrectified money in the budget. Why couldn't you make this argument before your colleagues instead of you just walking out of the house?
Because it was just that the budget was up for voting at that point. The budget was not up for debate. What usually happens is that to save time, most of these things, I don't know how the House of Representatives works. Maybe Honorable Yelu will take us through it later on. But as a member of the Senate, the tradition I met in the Senate is that most of these things take place behind closed doors where people debate. And I don't know whether some of my colleagues will be happy for me to say sometimes it almost evolve into fist fight. It's really tense behind where you in executive session actually discussing the issues. Because you don't want to waste the public time by coming outside and debating for 10, 15 hours and filibustering. So you go in there to debate issues. the issue have been brought forth. Like for instance, for Evanhoe, for example, I debated that if the Evanhoe agreement is not rejected and the issue of paving the whole road with 200 trucks plying that road and wasting dust on our people and degrading our environment, no, then I wouldn't vote for it. So the same thing with the budget. Let us remove all of the contingency from in the budget. The contingency are, are you getting me?
Yeah, we hearing you.
Yes.
Okay.
So
So the contingency, for example, are like monies that are not yet ratified, but that will come. So that what happened to ArcelorMittal, $200 million. If you check the budget, it is in contingency. But I thought between you and this is me being honest to everyone here, just as human beings, I really thought that just as all of the concession came along, ArcelorMittal concession were actually going to come along with the budget. That's what we were waiting for. But I think because of the issues that we have raised with it and the kind of technical issues that hinge around it, so they delayed it. But it didn't come with the budget, but all the rest came along. Those who were on a contingency were passed. But at the end of the day, I didn't see ArcelorMittal, so why should I? So I just told you, for example, and lastly, that, look, I'm from a political institution, and I told you, I'm not under any illusion I will not fight for UP to be successful, because the opposition here does not want us to be as successful as possible so that they can win election. And that is their job. You don't blame them for that. Opposition is there to make the ruling party ugly. Ruling party is there to promote herself. I will work for the ruling party. But in as much as I'm working in the budget room for that ruling party, there's something that I smell on that $200 million and I show up. If I sign up for it, that will be indirectly ratifying the ArcelorMittal agreement that I have raised a lot of issue with. And this is my stand. So now it puzzles me when people say, you're a hypocrite. Now, you're lie to Nima. Where did I lie to you? I am still on my same stance. What did I go wrong? And I'm really waiting for panelists who said all these things in my absence to come to me and say, this is what you did wrong, and this is a lie, and this is a hypocrisy, so that we can discuss it tonight. Because it's easier to just throw some other character under the bus and go scot-free because you have the microphone before you, and maybe, ask them what really, was your decision or what was behind your decision as you're asking. So on one hand, to answer your question, Mr. Ping, I didn't want to vote for a document I haven't seen for $200 million because I don't know whether it's in the interest of the people in Nima or not. Equally so, to vote no, to also offend your political institution that is so much passionate about the budget. So the best thing you do is to abstain. And you can abstain in two ways. You either say I abstain or you walk out. And I'm very proud of my decision that I made in recent time on Evanhoe and ArcelorMittal for not voting for them and walking out. Those are documents that were before us, but I stand by my decision. And if you give me an opportunity tomorrow, I will do the same thing, because that is smart legislative politics. Because today you may do it and tomorrow you will reap the benefit through the numbers game.
Thank you so much. We will go to the CEO, but I beg you before we do that. This document has been all in the corner for almost a year now, that you took money from Evanhoe in exchange to give them some kind of credence within the county. But now you're showing up to the public that you didn't receive any money from them. All I have to tell me as hypocrisy. How true is this document that you're seeing, Senator?
You see, Ping, when I was fighting ArcelorMittal got one policy. Any lawmaker that ever fought ArcelorMittal, they use propaganda to quiet you down. And that was one of those. My team even did a search. That document was created right inside inquiry on the computer. And at the end of the day, I don't give credence to that. That's nonsense. So let's even assume for the sake of the argument that I'm so stupid enough, I'm so greedy enough to take money from one company called Evanhoe and I don't even know anybody that there. So I'll go rare, I say, and blah, 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 blah. That's nonsense. You know why I haven't given credence to it almost a year after it came out? Because that was part of ArcelorMittal's propaganda to shut me down. The property or you know him. They didn't want to bring it up. They were fighting. They gave money to a women group, $10,000 to run campaign against me in the county to say how, you know, and not in the interest of the people. ArcelorMittal is a good company. They give money to the people to create computer generator things around me. They give money to the elders to have press conference. But ArcelorMittal did not know that they fight were not going to end. And now they are on the back foot, and they bent on the back foot. And that's why for the first time in history, they come out with 200 million. But there's something new that came out today, Pin, that I want to tell the Liberian people. Because I know that the ArcelorMittal owes us $1.4 billion, I'm going to make a case to the legislator that they owe us now $1.2 billion. $1.2 billion. Because they just paid $200 million of the $1.4 billion. If you follow my Facebook page, I don't know why people go there. I publish your information there regularly. But when I have my case now before the NEMA Legislative Caucus and the leadership of the Senate, when I have my case now before the presidency and the IMCC, I can't come every day and be yelling ArcelorMittal, oh, we ArcelorMittal. No, you don't do advocacy like that. And that's why I'm referring to last night and say, look, advocacy is not just about me making noise. And my brother, you know, facing took it to be like I was saying you're making. No, I was saying advocacy is not about just making noise. It's about researching the issue, identifying the problem, researching the issue, and providing solutions. And that's what I'm doing. So I have done nothing, you know, to not hold ArcelorMittal feet to the fire. That document about Ivanhoe is fake. I don't know anybody in Ivanhoe. If I want to do something like that, I will go rent my own knee like that. And besides, I don't know anybody from there. And that's the reason why I was one of the reasons. If you check the committee's recommendation again, the first 2 points you will see, they are my points. One, the Social Development Fund Ivanhoe wanted to be part of it. I said no. Secondly, they don't want to pave the road. I said no. And that's why I didn't vote for them. I stand by that. If you give me the opportunity tomorrow, I may not do that. And if they continue, then maybe, yeah. And we got other remedy, legal remedy that we're going to use against them. So I don't know these people. But that propaganda, and Mittal is master of that. They do that all of the time to lawmakers to shut them down. But you know what? They met me. And I'm here with them. And they can continue that nonsense. And I will not bow down to it. Because I don't pay attention to those kind of cheap propaganda.
Thank you. CEO, let's hear you, Chief.
So for me, I don't have questions. We have a lot of panelists on here. As my sister said, the man act like he's not a politician. I want to prove tonight I'm not a politician. So I'll let the other people speak. Senator, I want to say thank you so much for taking up your time to join us today. Even though our team, man, you didn't win today. I know it was a tough loss.
My man, let's fire that again, man.
We'll fire that, man. But I want to say thank you so much for coming. Hopefully, this is not your last time. You know, make this your home. This is our NEMA platform, Liberia platform. We need folks like you to grow. So I will stop here for now, and I will pass my.
But you know, I can tell you and P something tonight. You know, in my whole life, I'm my first time appearing. You think that, you know, I replay, you think, oh, the main one appear. You know, I'm my first time appearing on a show like this.
I saw that because you are even having problems logging in.
Class Reloaded has banished me. They will never call me again. Spoon TV have banished me. They say they will never call me again. I never appear on a show like this. I just go on my page. I release the information I want to release to the public. I go for my business. So this is not just my debut on BKL, but this is my debut on televised talk show. Never done it before. So I want you people to know that it was not in any disrespect or lack of regards to appear here, but you know, yeah, that's just it.
Appreciate it. Thank you. We you know it's from NEMA and when it comes from that, it has to be good. So thank you so much for doing that. So I'll pass my time to the other folks to ask their questions because we got a lot. And then before we do that, let's try. We are a lot on here. Let's try to keep our questioning under 2 minutes so we can allow other people to be able to ask their question.
Thank you so much. In my wisdom as a host, I will go to Mr. Walker. After Mr. Walker, we'll go to Veteran.
John, hold on. Pearson will come, but Councilor Yelu is here as a counter to the senator. So when the senator responds, let's turn it over to Yelu, then we'll go to the panelists. Then we will not keep that yet because Councilor Yelu is here. He promised to join here us today on this. So beyond that, then you can go to, I think Maferson was accused by the senator in a deliberation. So Maferson had to respond after Yelu before you go to all the panelists. Beyond that, I highlighted a comment from Musa Belete here So when garrison is done, the senator too can respond to that thing honorability.
You can't talk all the
from here.
same time. Do it one at a time. Let's do it one at a time. So
Thank
let's do
you.
one.
So we will go with what DK said. You know, DK is the senior host of the show, so whatever he says, we go back. Yeah. Councillor Yelu, welcome to the show this evening, Chief.
Yeah, thank you again, gentlemen. And the lone lady, sorry I came late because I was watching Morocco and the opening of the African Cup of Nations. You know me and myself.
Oh, that today?
Yeah, so Morocco just won 2-0. But well, thank you so much, Senator. Thank you. And it's good to have this kind of debate on a platform like this to inform our people, especially coming from NIMA. The responsibility is huge. I've been there before and I understand some of the responsibilities that come with the job, especially as it relates to NIMA compared to other counties. But when I log in, I hear you saying, were you to remove the Metasti 200 of money and blah, 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 the budget will still be in the billion. Let me respectfully disagree with you. What you pass is the total budget you pass is 2.56 billion. And if you subtract the proposed budget was 1.2 billion, you pass 1.256 billion. And if you subtract the 1.24 billion, if you subtract what is in contingency, especially with the signature bonus and other money that in contingency is 256 million. 256 million. If you subtract that, the total budget now you will be having will be 943 million. It will not be a billion. So you can go back to that. The other thing is that Senator, you talk about the Metasti money, the 200 bonus. That will be clear, Senator. You have to have this agreement was signed by the president on November 5, 2025. Let that be clear. The Metasti agreement, the MD, the TFS of it have been signed by the president, President Joseph Boakai, on November 5, 2025. Go back. What triggered the 200 million? It was contingent upon the signing of the MDA by the president. So when we say the MDA not being signed, it's not true. President Boakai has signed, and I challenge anybody. Take down the figure, the number, the date today, or that it was signed on November 5, 2025. When that agreement goes to the legislature, if you don't see November 5, 2025, don't never trust me again. It has been signed. So the issue about it's in contingent is not so. Senator, we all serve on the budget committee. When I got elected, I was on the budget committee as a member. Then later on, I was elevated as to the position of co-chair on the public account committee. So I spent all my time this year on the budget committee, and there can be nothing about that budget that I don't know about the process, because I was one of those who really kept the Unity Party government on their feet during our time with the NUDP. So I know about the budget. There's something called in law when it's something called implied contract or implied ratification. You have 200 million that was triggered by the president's signing of the budget. And if the president has signed the budget, and that 200 million is from where? From AML. And what the guys, this smart in the executive, I want you were really paying attention to is that they tie the 200 million to projects that those from those county will not be able, they will be tempted not to accept the budget. So 50 million of that money went to the counterpart funding on the St. Paul River Bridge to Bow Waterside. And Senator, it's troubling because obviously it means you are getting a bombing, you are getting a Kitmon, Bapudu will be in line. Obviously for that Western Belt, already getting already. So even if that NDA comes today, as in signed on November 5, it comes today to the legislature, it will go through. I understand your advocacy, and like you said, it's a number game. So look, I start the budget to strategic area that will tempt those lawmakers from those counties
Thank you.
for refusing to the budget.
Thank you,
The second
Council.
thing is that
Council will come back to
let
you for the
Mr.
second
Clement,
me
round.
use few minutes to clarify. You got some
I will
points.
allow you, Senator, please.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
Senator, you have to allow me.
Okay.
You will talk about the PYJ Polytechnic in Gompa
Yeah.
City. And Senator,
Yeah.
you and myself know when you have money, additional money that the legislature will generate, it is not guaranteed.
Yeah.
And because when the core budget is what the finance ministry is concerned about, what we used to do as additional funding, at times the sources where you depend on to get the additional funding from, at the end, if you don't get the additional funding, those institutions that tie all those projects that tie to those additional funding, they will not go through. And I have said it would have been prudent enough for PYJ to be having a budget line just like Collington University, because Collington is a private university, is the most expensive university in Liberia. Yet they are getting money from the budget directly every year. In fact, we argued before, why should at that time Collington got 1.4 million? I raised that issue on the floor. You understand? So for us to say, oh, the budget, yeah, we agree that the lawmakers will make some intervention. And you could have, even apart from the AML, Senator, you could have done more to even reach the budget to 1 billion. For instance, why you do Freeport, why LPRC, why NAFA, they are not contributing to the budget. And I have said repeatedly during my time in the legislature, it has been my argument that the NPA, LPRC, Maritime, LPA, they are all government institutions. We should have one budget. They should be in that budget, and then they can be there. What are you doing for LRA? What percentage of what they generate will go to them, rather than they sitting on their own budget when they come to the committee and say, I gave this. I used to have problem during my Taylor Parker time. I have problem with that. I said, there is not a problem with it.
Thank you, Council. We are a lot.
I beg you will come, because there are three issues of the budget that the senator raised, and we have to provide a counter to it. That's why I'm here tonight. I'm not here tonight as a panelist. I've never been a panelist. I respectfully asked you last night. I respectfully asked you last night that as an opposition politician from Nima, and since this is border on Nima County, please allow me to counter some of the argument raised by the senator. We can't leave it hanging.
Honorable. So what we appreciate that. This is what this discussion is for. Why that is true, the senator is our guest, right? So we have to give him the.
President, woman, what time when I mean with a girl, man? You can't talk about more than
You must be a guest. Obviously, Mr. CEO, I didn't come here as a panelist. You know, I came here as a guest. And
I would take you to.
I hope there should not be a debate.
No, I would take the man to the leadership. You know, you stay under the authority of the legislature, right? I would take you to leadership.
But honorable, so here, let's do that.
I mean, just some of what I wanted to say.
My brother,
I have followed, like I said on my post, I say we have been your followers, your spectators, clapping for you, cheering for you. And I have said, Mr. Honorable Senator, it would have been the most appropriate thing for you to make your case on the floor and say, look, I'm not voting for this budget because of XYZ. I understand the party nature. You could not do that because it was a party mandate. And I said that in my post clearly. That's why I was very respectful. And I have said that you could not vote because it was a party mandate. It's a tactical retreat, though. You have to be in chamber when you know that what you will say in the media will see everybody opposing the budget. Like, for instance, Senator Koga have been vocal of late. So everything he said, no one will take it as a headline news. But when you on the floor and make that case, that would be the headline. And you never wanted that hairline.
Okay.
So you
Thank
ran
you.
away
No,
from the
but
hairline and said, look, if I
no.
stay here, the hairline with your senator, we are all, I'm a former legislator. I know how.
Yeah, I learned from you. I learned from you.
So I'm just saying to us, the MDA have been passed, they have been signed. That's what triggered the 200 million. You can do it.
Let me respond to that.
If they are not come to you, then no problem. But it has been signed by the President Imam Bakar November 5, 2025.
Let me respond to that. There are two things happening here quickly before we go to the next, questions. Honorable Yelu is a former lawmaker, so he may as well be very entitled to national security information and development information. But as a sitting senator of this country, as far as I'm concerned, the MDA between the government of Liberia and Asile Mita I have not seen it, so I don't know the date for which it was signed. Okay. But let's forget about the date for which it was signed.
Yeah.
I am much more inclined to know what's in it because our points have been given. And I bet that the IMCC and the president will not waste the Nima Legislative Caucus time for 2 hours in meeting. And I bet the Senate leadership, and one thing that the Senate leadership has done, and let me just let you know, they have promised that they will give me the lead way in the cross-examination of the ratification process of the Asile Mita deal. The Senate has vowed to do that. And an attempt on our part to withdraw on it, you will hear from me. First of all, I got really, besides the political maneuvering like my former colleague alluded to, I got really nothing to lose. I got zero interest in any of these people. Look, you see the Avanho, let me tell you something. Avanho, Asile Mita, they don't love us. They came here to make profit. You know what made me reluctant Avanho last minute time when they brought that letter? Let me admit to y'all, we're talking in-house with family that Nima Kande platform here. Yeah. I was convinced when the Minister of Transport wrote that letter to the Senate, and Avanho also wrote to the Senate that they will pave the road. But something came to me. The people have not started mining yet. You who just want to use our road to transport, why are you not mining and piling up? Then when we give you the assets now, then you just start bringing. Are you waiting for the access agreement to raise more money so that your RPO internationally can go up for more investment? I started thinking. So there's more to this thing that I thought. Because the way in which they agree, go with the red letter, say, okay, we'll pay the road. I said, wait. So we started thinking. So these things are more complex than we thought. And I done my research. And an American guy who is an associate of the White House told me exactly that the first thing that HPS did in the country, in America, was to make themselves to look like an American company, raise money that RPO went up, people invested, they withdrew, passed on to Avanho, and they started. It's complex than that. There are a lot of issues that we understand. And I wouldn't have brought it here. So even the White House, including President Trump, one of his envoys will be coming in the country next week. I'm going to meet up with him. And Avanho is in more trouble maybe than they think. They may not have the money to mine that mine. So they want to use the access agreement as a way to boost people's confidence now that there's a $7 billion mine and there's an asset, boom, put your money in it. So, but some of these things, you don't bring it all here until you get clear understanding of it. Gentlemen, I got no hidden agenda with anybody. People can write my name on a piece of shit and say, oh, yeah, did I mean, come on. Now, somebody do that. I don't need that. Money is sweet, but good need is better than money because good need brings you more money. But when it comes to the budget, Honorable Yelu, the budget that you're talking about, no. When the legislator does appropriation, the finance minister does not go nitpicking and say, oh, the other appropriation thing late. The other one were in the budget early, so they want to say, will not raise the revenue, you're not going to know. No, that's not the way it works. Look, I'm about to make a mistake tonight, but my colleague called me. Okay, I will not say. The budget working papers are in my hands. Some of them are going to go into it just to please you people to say, look, these are the new numbers. But I'm going to realize that the budget... No, I can't be...
We're newsmaker.
I'm going to realize that the budget working papers are not yet been forwarded to the executive for inclusion in the budget. If I discuss it, then I have broken one of the major protocol in legislative politics. I could be thrown out of the budget committee. I got the 2 people right here with me, as I show you. But my heart went to discuss new numbers with you back in. So on the budget will still be $1 billion budget minus AML $200 million because we identify additional revenue. That's how far I can go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much again, folks. Tonight we are in conversation with Senator Nyan Twayen. This show has been relayed on Radio Liway and also Voice of Tapeta and Voice of BKS in Butu and Tapeta respectively. Veteran Mavasin, let's give you 2 minutes. I beg you guys, we have to go to the other discussion. We're still on the budget issue, so each person will speak or ask question in 2 minutes, and we go to the next point.
All right, thank you, Jim. DK, what I want to say is that I'm not too sure the senator was laying accusation. I think he was giving clarity on what happened yesterday. And for me, I maintain my stand because he's one person that I respect a lot. I hold him in high esteem. A torchbearer at the University of Liberia. And for obvious reasons, he's one of those I respect. But to say, my team told me, it means he was not listening. He probably may have come, he probably may have come from somewhere and just jumped into making statement, and it was not even a good thing to do for somebody of his caliber. You must be well versed with the issue before you can approach it. That's the angle from whence I come. And yesterday, I was clear that the senator is between the rock. He's between the people of Nema, the interests of the people that gave him the position or the authority he enjoys, and that of his party. And his position tonight kind of justified my position, especially taking over for another government and propping the budget to take it to that level is something those of us who come from the governing unity party or the governing structure will want to really idolize, will want to be happy about. And so whatever stands taking otherwise will really be the news movement, as Councillor Yedu rightly stated. And so because of that, he has to play, a role in a tactical way as he did. That was my position yesterday. And thank God from his exposition, I can see that clearly. There's a frustration somewhere, but be as it may, so be it, he got to go with the flow. But Senator, my question is, understanding from the very inception of your time in the Capitol building, the advocacies you've led, on behalf of your people against Mattel, to have Mattel still put 200 million signature bonus out front. And the financial management team committed it in our budget. And those of us who have some knowledge of contracting, there got to be some convincing point where contractual agreement will reach before you talk about signature bonus. Now, signature bonus has been advanced. And for the fact that it's factored in our budget, I consider it a win for Mattel. From your background, as someone who has been opposed to Mattel, and as someone who is representing the political and leadership interests of Nema County, and for tonight's discussion, I wouldn't want to look at you more as Unity Party Senator. I want to discuss with you, considering you as the Senator of Nema County. So the core interest of my discussion and my concentration will be the benefits to the people of Nema. Do you consider the signature bonus being factored, which I consider it as an acceptance, as a win for Mr. Steele? Or can you proffer any new argument that perhaps would deny Meta Steel amendment passage? And if that happens, what happens to the signature bonus? Okay. Number one, that's number one. The second question is, can you, because you're speaking to the people of Nema, as the moderator rightly stated, this discussion is being highlighted by several community radio stations across Nimba. So you are directly in conversation with the people of Nimba. Can you, on this show, promise the Nimba people, since you are making us to understand that the budget is in its draft, so what is there might look small, but the official budget will have a lot for the people of Nimba. Can you openly promise us that the budget, the final stage of the budget will be something that Nimba will be happy about? Especially
Okay, thank you.
considering the Nimba County University, PYJ, the health sector, especially when you take it on a comparative level, comparing it to that of other counties, because we care for the vote we gave to the Unity Party. Minus Nimba, there's nothing called Unity Party government today.
Okay, thank you. I will answer the question, the last question in twofold. I will answer it from the economic terms, and I will answer it from the political perspective. Number one, the budget is a draft. Yes, will the numbers for Nimba improve in the final version? That I can say emphatically from what I have with me here, yes. But I haven't done the comparative analysis to see whether that will offset the point that you've been making since last night. So I want to be very clear. The numbers will improve. But when we're doing the budget, let's admit, I haven't seen in the budget process where you develop a budget and it's like a competition or a comparative analysis between counties to balance it. No, the budget is done based on the need. First of all, the budget is the president's budget. Technically, it is drafted by the finance ministry on behalf of the presidency. It comes for the legislature to do appropriation readily because under the law, it is the House of Representatives that have that appropriation power on behalf of the Liberian people. And then the Senate shall either agree or say, let's do some more work in it before we concur. So but before then, there needed to be a draft that will come. So when that draft comes, it mirrors the president's vision of the country. Then the House of Representatives put bones and meats on it to make sure that all of the people that they represent are represented within our budget. Then it comes to the Senate for us to do finishing touches. Will the number improve for Nimba? Yes, but I don't think we sit deliberately at some point in time we start comparing numbers per county. That is something new that we could start to look at, especially in critical sectors like public works, like education and health. We're going to pay some attention to that. And there is something new that you guys have brought up. You do the comparative analysis per sector, how much, for each county. The only thing is that we did that for Illorin City and county capitals. And I don't want to go deep into it before I discuss the working papers. But when it comes to capturing county capitals and major towns, we did that in the current one. And when it comes to Illorin City also, we capped that also. And you will know what I mean by we capped that. You're not changing anything, but you say 20 million for Illorin City, you go inside there, you say inside the 20 million, this team are having to play, that's capping. You didn't move any number. So with that, we did a lot of work in that. But when it come up, then we can come out here and I say, my man, man, you're over there, the number like this. So yeah, I can agree that the number will go up, but I don't know what it will be to your satisfaction. So we hold it that until the budget comes. The second issue has to do with the 200 million agreement. Look, that's one of the brilliant questions that even the president, if he poses it to him, he will not answer. Do I have an answer for you for that? No. But this is the answer I have for you, Nimba County Senator. I will do everything possible that if that agreement is not in the interest of the people of Nimba, I will lobby against it so that we cannot ratify MITA. If it costs the government to lose 200 million, that's so be it. You say left from here, we ain't that. BHP better not close down before we ain't that. Other companies are parked on and left, we're not that. China Union left from here, we're not that. So at the end of the day, MITA was denied in 2023. Nobody perished here. MITA is only bringing up the $200 million because they want to induce us to sign the agreement. You guys are right. I don't know why you even think that that's something to say. You guys are just stating the obvious. Mita only put $200 million all because they want a shady agreement to pass. The pressure we have put on them with the current violation of the MDA, they're trying to please the government. And I can prove to any financial expert in the world, from my valuation, go on my page and check it out. ArcelorMittal owed the people of Liberia $1.4 billion. They came in this country, they have invested $8 billion, $3 billion. Let me repeat. They have invested $3-point-something billion from 2005 up to now. They have generated $8 billion. So there's a profit there of $5 billion. But remove expenditure, administration, operation from in it, that $5 billion, come down and drop it down to $4.something billion and take $1 billion out of operation. Apply between 50 to 30% to $4 billion. Do you see how much these people owe us? And breaking news that we are coming on next week. I'm part of the APNet caucus, and I'm one of the caucuses that really helping me to do research for me. When you see me coming out with some anything, it is the African Parliamentary Union that I am a part of the caucus. They are for accountability and justice, for especially for concession. When you saw me go to South Africa, I paid my own way to go there because we needed to learn the tools. There are different tools that they gave us. They are going to give us additional information that they have researched international ArcelorMittal the coming week. The figure that we did, along with Paul Collins, the former IAA boss, who is based in London, doing research work for a consultancy firm, and ArcelorMittal having to do some level of auditing with that firm. That's how Paul Collins got hold of that data, and that's how I came up with that $1.4 billion. But this week, the APNet Congress will confront that $1.4 billion. So in my wisdom, to answer your question lastly, is that I will take that $200 million as payment on dividend against the $1.2 billion. And that would be the argument now putting on the Senate floor. So this show, the APNet Congress and my new discovery now will find a new argument that will take to the horse. And that's what I'm going to carry. It's not a signature bonus anymore. You're trying to pay us some of the money you owe us, but you want to call it signature bonus. Have you ever given us more than $30 million, $50 million for signature bonus before? What jump way to $200 million? You want to bribe us to sign a deal as a whole unit of a government. You want to induce us to forget about what you owe us. I say no. And we're clear on that. And gentlemen, sometimes, let me just let you know, I work in a caucus. I got veteran lawmakers, the Senator Koga and other people. The caucus too has backed me. Do you people remember when I started the advocacy, people, that same thing you saw, people writing against me, I take money. People attacked me. The caucus came to my rescue and backed me. So if the caucus tell me now that we are taking our points to the presidency and you are taking it to the leadership of the legislature, let's wait and see. You're not expecting me to disrespect and just be yelling all over the place. I said, let me ninja in my mouth passing around. No, I can't do that.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you so much. Again, we are here for a couple of minutes before we go with the senator. So we'll go to Mr. Walker to ask his question in 2 minutes. And after that, the senator will respond. We go to Garrison to make his counter there. And we go to Madam Lorena, my brother, Cyrus Dakwansia with NDK. Let's hear you, Mr. Walker.
Thank you so much, Senator Toyin. Thank you so much. I'm happy to see you and happy to be on the platform with you. Okay, so you are a Unity Party lawmaker, and I'm proud to be one of your kind. We all worked hard for Unity Party 2017. We were not successful, but this time around, it is okay. In no way that politicians from other parties on this platform will intimidate the Unity Party, maybe in the form of coming up with issues that is political. But what we can say when it comes to Nima County, we must be frank about it. We should not sugarcoat it. We should not think that maybe we want to satisfy our party, and so we should on the bridge. So this brings me to a few points that I want to ask you. First, the first one, if you answer yes or no, then I can dive into the other part. Besides the Mitai 200 million, because I heard you clearly said the METAD 200 million was the issue that you walk out, and you didn't satisfy with it, and so you walk out. You don't want to say yes, you don't want to say no, because that issue was not clear, if I get you right. So
Yeah.
besides the METAD 200 million, do you have problem with this budget? The argument maybe by your colleagues, does that argument resonate with you? Do you have issue with this budget?
With the adjustment and the working papers that I don't have much of a problem. I'm not 100% satisfied because, you know, we got outweighed by a lot of people. Honorable Glikia and us too for NIMBA, we did everything we could, but at least we did what he representing NIMBA in the lower house, I representing NIMBA in the Senate. We have to do what we have to do. You know, we are 30 people doing the budget, 15 from the House of Representatives, 15 from the Senate. And Gliga, we are two. And I can tell you people on this platform, I'm very blessed to have him along me. He is a fighter, he's a bulldozer. And we wouldn't have succeeded towards this level, even with what in the working paper, it would never have on Gliga. You know, they drafted that budget to fight and see it. So we are very happy to have him. So yes, but not satisfactorily.
Okay, so thank you. I say this to say, when you look at the budget, your attention was not really to looking at the public sector investment programs. Figures are extracted to various counties. And if you would elevate the argument of a budget, your major concern will have to do with what is it in the budget that your people are benefiting, or what is benefiting the county. As a senator, I'm not talking about the legislature. I'm not saying the representative, but the senators would mainly be looking at what is coming to the county on it all over. So my question there is, my concern here is not a question per se. I want to get your opinion on it. My concern here is, when you take the first 4 counties, to compare their numbers of the PSIP, you see that NIMA is not among the first 4 counties. Okay, you will see that the first county, I'm talking about numerical strength versus the figure, the amount of money that is attached to the PSIP. You will see that we all were thinking that Lofa County is the first, but you will see that River G is the first in terms of the money that they're getting to develop their community versus the population they have. The next, you will be looking at like a Bapulu, the money they're getting versus the population they have. And then you will be looking at River Says, the money they're getting versus the population they have. Now, Lofa County will be the 4th, the money they're getting versus the population they have. Now, if you look at the analysis of the lowest in terms of PSIP versus the population, Nima County stands to be the lowest. Now, these are something that are clear on the budget line. If you look at it, you're going to see that. Now, like you say, you're working on that paper. Will you be able to look at it and see what Nima could see and say, yes, at least this government is not just discounting us, it's not just placing us on our that level that we have vice president, but we are getting something helping the country. That's the second.
Yeah, question. So that is a good analysis, but I will have to look at it to establish whether it is factual in the first place.
Yeah.
I may not take your word for it, but for the sake of the argument, I will respond to it. I have not established that clear-cut chronological, tabulation that you just made, but for the sake of the argument, just from a development perspective, if you looked at just what you said, even if it is true for the sake of, let agree with you for the sake of it, is that it is in tune of bringing people on par. As you can see it, most of the countries that you name first, you see how dilapidated and backwards they are. So that's why the president's budget, along with the House of Representatives budget, that's what they think on, probably. That could be an answer to that, probably to bring other people on par. But this is something that I have to establish. But from the working papers that I have, for PSRP to be heavily endowed, if you do it on a ratio level, then I will agree with you. But if you do it on a blank number level, I don't think that would be truthful. That River G will be high in terms of PSRP because Maserati alone, PSRP, MCSS alone, to bring all the MCSS schools, on par alone, they are very heavy endowed. For instance, when you look into maybe rural Maserati that is lying in regions, those are things that I want us to look at. But this is something that we'll have to look at and answer your question towards that level.
Sure,
And
that is
as
tied to the number, the population of Maserati. When you tie the amount that is set for that area and
Yeah.
divide, you want to know very
So
well
what
that
I'm saying
what
is, did you do your analysis based on ratio, population to figure ratio, or you taking the top number?
That's what I'm saying. That I'm saying that it's tied to the population and the development, the amount that is set for development within that particular location.
Unfortunately, the budget does not use indexation. So the strategy you're using right there in the construction of the policy in public policy is indexation. So you indexing development based on population. Yes, but I don't think the budget uses indexation, unfortunately. And that is a very cogent argument that you bring in. But developed countries now use indexation. Countries like the UK, America does it, Australia does it sometimes, but they use indexation. So population density, stratification, to do development in indexation. But we don't use indexation in our budget. We don't even use indexation in our entire development structure because it was indexing every year. We have to increase people's salary based on the inflationary rate. But some people started making 150 hours and the same beginning at 150 cents 2 years ago. We will not index it to push it up. So this is something that we're going to look at. I want you to know that this is something new and we're going to also capture that.
Thank you so much.
Je veux qu'on ait, we know we got a woman and boot to the interpreter and listener. So the PP English, honorable.
But indexation, I know how to bring it now.
You like if you speak, you like if you singing the whole all the jar, the 1990 jar on Facebook.
I will put it in one of my songs, January 1, 2 in the country to explain to them.
I just joking, but yeah, go ahead.
Thank you so much. We'll go to Councillor Yelu and give him 2 minutes to counter, and the senator will respond. After that, we'll go to Madam Lorena. From there, we go to Saras and then Siawete. Councillor, welcome.
Thank you. Okay, thank you again, Senator. And let me most respectfully default with you again. Like we talk about the PSRP. If you go to the preface, Roman number 3 of the budget, the entire PSRP, the total is 281.5 million. In that 281.5 million, 200 million is tied to the signature bonus. So simply, your government is saying, if you don't ratify the agreement, you will not get development. Because all of the development projection is tied to the 281.5 million for the PSRP. 200 million of that amount is the signature bonus. So obviously, it's implied that there will be nothing to stop the MDA. You're making some good point concerning the MDA, which we all agree on. But
so we finish voting on it, huh?
No, I come in. It is implied that you have tied it to something. The PSRP, go to the preface 3, 1.3, go to Roman number 3 of the budget page. You have it there. The PSRP is 281.5 million. In that 281.5 million, you get 200 million as a signature bonus. So you have just tied all of our development for this year to Mittal Steel. They have tied to it. The other issue is that the power of the purse is actually with the legislature. Legislative delegation does not in any way take away your responsibility. Article 34D of the Constitution says you are the one that will do appropriation. Our Constitution is clear. The executive is the one that implement. But because of tradition, we are given that responsibility to the founder. Actually, the blueprint should have come and say, look, the executive should come and tell you and say, these are the things we want to do. You will look at their blueprint and say, based on what the executive sent to us, these are this is how we're going to do the appropriation. So I'm just telling you, the executive, Article 34D of the Constitution gave you the authority to do appropriation. It's not the executive. They will tell you their programs. And when they tell you their programs, based on their program, now what is the power of the purse is with you, who will align the program with the need of people. The other issue the other issue you talk about, but Senator, I listened to Senator Koga, and he made a very salient point concerning the revenue sharing law. And yesterday you came and counter and said that the fiscal bill have not been set. Your issue last time was because the fiscal bill have not been set. But let us also understand, Mr. Senator, that when the law is passed, it's a law. In 2025, Meta Steel contributed 100 million. What they say the guy has revenue in royalty and taxes to government is a little over 100 million. By that, Honorable Senator, it means, according to the revenue sharing law, NEMA is entitled to 10 million of that 100 million that they gave to government through royalty and taxes. In 2026, your projection is there could be around 150 million. So if you take the 150 million and the 100 million for 2025, it means that 250 million. The 10% of that amount is 25 million. 25 million. Then the 200 million we're talking about, if you go to the division, is also a revenue that was generated from NIMBA. The 10% of that 200 million should be 20 million. So technically, even if the fiscal bill have not been set, that's why they see by the revenue sharing law, you repeal section 7 of the revenue code of 2000. By that repeal, it means that putting all the government money in one consolidated account is no longer to do. There is nothing that stops this government from putting the 45 million for NIMBA in an escrow account to wait until the fiscal bill is set up. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Let me be sincere here. We are not talking CDC or United Party. We are talking NIMBA tonight. And
thank you, Councillor.
NIMBA, let us
let me.
In the absence of the fiscal bill, there is no law that says you cannot put our money in an escrow account while the fiscal bill is set up, because that money is the 10% is already a law. So as you generate,
thank you, Councillor. Thank you. We'll come back to you, Councillor.
There is something called stating the obvious. Stating the obvious does not make you right and the other people wrong. The obvious thing here is that there's a revenue sharing bill that all of the counties, not just NIMBA, have been disadvantaged of. Let's get that established. This is not a case against NIMBA County to say, oh, we don't want the revenue sharing bill for NIMBA County. No. When Putu were operating, Grand Jida was a victim of it. Right now, all of the different extractive industry, for instance, in Bapolu, in Cape Mount, in Bomi, B Mountain, wherever they're operating from, now they're moving into River G and River Cess. The revenue, none of them benefiting from that. So let us get it clear on this panel that this is not a NIMBA thing. It is a national government issue. And the excuse that the government is giving, that what I brought to you, I am not saying that you and myself, you stating the obvious. Listen to Koga and we went through that thing. I said fire. And we really mean that. And if you check my record, my very first public hearing at the Labyrinth Center was with LRA. I will bring the clip. Maybe I will give it to the host one day. He play. I'm play with him on the same revenue sharing bill. So, Honorable Yellow, we're stating the obvious, but it's a national issue. It is not a selective NEMA issue that the government is deliberately denying NEMA or certain things. There are a whole lot of laws on the book that the government has not been able to implement. Plenty. Some of them, the election or superintendent, election or mayor, election or primary, they don't do it. That the same way they are not yet doing it, and the excuse they will get is that, oh, you know, we need to structure the fiscal bowl and blah, 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 and they keep on, and I told Double Jara that time is not in our favor. And thankfully, Debuzu and I will talk about this. So what we're going to do... No,
1 minute, Senator.
Yes, please, guys.
1 minute. The election of city mayor and superintendent will come after 10 years after the local, according to the local government act. So I just 1 minute, sir. 1 minute, sir. So we have not reached the local government act was passed in 2018. And
we're not reaching the threshold.
But Honorable, you gotta let him. You gotta let him answer though. You gotta let the guest answer.
I didn't make the point. Then he will answer, sir.
No, you make a point of information.
I have not learned that, sir. I said I let him flight. I let him flight, and you.
No. He was.
I want to make the point.
After the process, I'll tell the medal. Your leader, man, I'll tell the medal leadership.
Honorable, you will be fine.
Senator. What we're seeing here, my son. Garrison daughter, the third who is doing service, we're asking the question, Daddy, because he right in the room listening to what we're talking, even though he's watching show. I'm just saying to you, the law say after 10 years, we have not reached that threshold. Yeah,
but
so let's be clear on that. But the issue we are raising here, the government say,
our in-flight.
You gotta let him.
The major point I want to strike on this issue. You know, remember when you invited me, I guess, guys, next time you want debate, you know me, I will cancel get debate. You man, boy. But let me learn. The point I want to establish here is that this is not a selected NEMA issue. It's a national problem. That Cape Man is disadvantaged because nobody giving Cape Man that percentage for B Mountain. Nobody giving it to Bapolu. Nobody giving it to Bomi County. Nobody giving it to River G, nobody giving it to River Side, nobody giving it anywhere. So it is not a NEMA thing to say, oh, you know, we get our vice president from NEMA County and our senator and Southern there. No, it's a national problem. Yeah, all the other laws sometimes not implemented. But is this something that moving forward now, having been raised by Macaulay and having me raise it in the past, that we should really get keen on and push? Yes. Watch. Our next legislative sitting, this issue will be very paramount on our table, and it will be number one issue on our agenda as lawmaker from the county. But it is not a selected NEMA issue, it's a national issue that affecting all of the counties. So we shouldn't personalize it and say, oh, yeah, XYZ. Just as we're losing money in it, all of the other counties too who are having extractive industries are also losing money in it.
Thank you so much, Madam Larina. Let's give you your 2 minutes to make your point on the first round. We have to conclude. Some of the panelists are also in the back, so if you ask, we'll put you in the back and bring the other person on to ask that question. And Larina, let's hear you.
Thank you, Junior, and thank you to the dynamic chairman who was able to get an acre of land in Senegal in less than 3 hours. Welcome to the show. Today will not be your last time coming to the show. For me, I don't have a question for you, but I want to maintain my position. Though you are explaining, I will have prepared as someone who supported you, part of your diaspora team that supported you. I would have preferred you stay on the floor and stay because X, Y, Z and explain. Like Joseph did, he said, because X, Y, Z, I'm not going to vote. That's why I would prefer, because the lady in Bunadin, she would say, yeah, I'm going to play, that's why I'm going to play. That's why the woman in Bunadin would say, the other woman in Flompa would say, when you explain that we understand now, it will take you the whole of 2026 to explain to them to understand. So for me, that's my disappointment. And then I like the way this debate is going, because the last time when somebody appeared here, they were really sharing our team. I said the law was passed, but it is not into effect because there are some technical and administrative reasons that need to be put into place. One of them has to do with the government fiscal board, and then we will be talking expected about 4 factors. We talk about the population of the country, which is at the advantage of NIMA. We talk about the land space, which is also at the advantage of NIMA. We talking about poverty index, meaning NIMA will be giving money to some poor countries that decide to just be poor. And then we're talking about critical efficiency. I said those things will be put into play, but people feel if you now, I'm not a law student, but at least I did something that is developmental related. So I read a lot and I know I can reason and understand what it means. So let's just know that it is not like certain people hate NIMA and they're doing this to NIMA. So it's because the president hasn't done that. So like the other morning, it was so playing on me. I come and Minister Meyer, they morning, I mean, they asked me I'm coming from church. And he even go further. I even got to know that it's already on his desk to be signed. So at least let's push our lawmakers to make sure the president signs it so that it can, I mean, constitute the vote so that it takes effect. Because every country is being affected. Even if we got a higher percentage, but they to that lower percentage is going to national government. Over the last 2 years, it's either Ferry or Mr. Thomas who has been in the certificate by LRA. Meaning if that money is staying with NIMA, 40%, it means a lot for NIMA. So it's not like the law is part, I agree with you people, but I say it's not being implemented because of these technical and administrative reasons. So thank you again. You will have to explain to the point now why you walk out. Like you explain that one thing about you still get a lot of talking to doing NIMA.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you
there?
for that. You know, it doesn't require my response. I will keep explaining, but that was the legislative titles. You know, maybe the former lawmaker, the veteran lawmaker can explain that. That's part of the voting process. So I will still have to explain. I don't have problem.
When is your county tour? When your NIMA county tour?
The county tour is slated for January, but the way I'm looking at it, I got other issue. I may push it to February because I want it to be a little bit more intense tied to certain dedication or certain projects. Because most of the projects, I refuse to dedicate projects, and I refuse to how they can call it, break grounds for project. So I just want to dedicate projects like that, you know, then it becomes what it was. So sometimes, you know, you take people by surprise and they feel that those who feel that you're not doing anything, when you're ready to dedicate now, you take them by surprise.
Yeah, don't be that other people then leave BKS out. Make sure you get BKS involved, because we got some leaders then in NIMA that they tend to throw BKS away. So don't leave us out.
Nobody train BKS away. Let me say something to this network. Last night I was watching you, and you had about 93%. Sometimes went to when the team called, when you sent me the link. When I started watching, it went to 1 OTD, 1 over. This is probably NIMA first premier, you know, phone, television or live stream show.
Right.
But we need to be a little bit more careful. And let me state this for a fact. There's a new debate that may engender here. This show must price itself to discuss issues as we're doing tonight. But the spirit that I saw last night and previous night, if they show and certain personality on this show think that they can use this show to malign the government, the Unity Party government, throw the vice president who is the son of the soil on the bus, throw the sitting senator Nyantoya on the bus and other subsidiary of the Unity Party on the bus, I can tell you the people in Nima love those people and the Unity Party. You can do that. What we need to do is to actually discuss it. You see, tonight, we inside the disco. We're not in any character tonight. But when I was not on the show last night, my character was on the line. Some people calling me all kind of name, calling the vice president all kind of name. Do you think it please your very listener? The Unity Party and its alliance member, their popularity in that county, including my popularity, the vice president popularity, and the rest of our colleagues' popularity, is very untouchable. So if people think that you will use a certain platform to switch a narrative because of oppositionists, it will not work, gentlemen. I can just say that to you. And this is me wearing my lay political garment in the middle of development discussion to get through all that. We can still debate it later on another day.
So, John, hold on. John, hold on.
John, hold on, Senator, this platform, panelists on a platform, 95%, including myself, are Unity partisan.
We just saying.
My person, the former executive member of Unity Party, me, Siawete, Lorena.
No.
I just throwing it out there. Just in case anybody.
You just said it's the ballpark, your party headquarters. How you think?
So when somebody say the platform is being used to malign you and the
No. I say if anybody think
the senator is quiet, it has been happening.
I know
But you don't go ahead now. I don't know what's the.
Last night calling me hustler, a hypocrite, a liar. How did I lie to you? I hear tonight. Y'all bring it to my face. Let's talk about it. How is the vice president not singing the interest of the people in Nima? Let's talk about it. We finish all the development issue, the budget issue. Let's go to the politics of it tonight. I'm waiting. I'm here. Because a whole lot of
thank you, Senator.
Let's go into the middle of
it. Thank you, Senator. We will go to the political discussion.
Yeah.
I know everybody have their own to say, everybody have their 1 cent. But let's finish with the developmental issue, then we can go to politics.
I'm winning. You know what I mean? You're not a political man, so I can get.
I know you're a politician.
I want for that question.
I love politics, and they be playing politics at my back. I love politics. I live it. I breathe it.
We come to the political issue, so we will come to you, my brother Cyrus, to ask your question or make an input in 2 minutes. And after you do that, Becky will put you in the bag and bring on Chris Silly so that he can ask his question. Let's hear you.
Man, let us sedition with, brother. A serious matter will discuss it. Let's sedition with. Senator, it's good to see you. I'm independent minded. I can decide to join them party at any point.
Good.
Senator, to be frank, I am one person who is not carried away by your showy advocacy, and especially as it relates to mental stew. And the statement you just made that this platform individuals want to use it to malign you and the VP. I want to differ with that statement.
I said if you want to use it.
The scenario.
I read in newspaper. Don't lie on me. I said if anybody think
the scenario you and the VP want to create in NIMBA, that every NIMBAian must be made to bow down. We will not tolerate it. We will oppose it, and we'll continue to do it until the right things are done. Now, my question is, I listen to you as you swim in contradiction between Unity Party and truth. You know the truth, but you don't want to say where the truth is. You don't want to say what it is because you hold loyalty to your party. So between Unity Party and NIMBA, our people who elected you, where your loyalty is tied? That's my first question.
That is not a question. Your loyalty lies with your constituents.
Thank you, sir. My second question has to do with mental stew. When you started this advocacy about mental, all of the pitfalls, I followed it closely, and there were issues that you raised that made a lot of sense, especially in the interest of our people. But the very party that you cherish a lot is trying to play a game with our people, with the Liberian people. And if you that's why my opposition, you represent the truth most of the time. You speak truth to power. But at this point, they walking out of section when a critical decision was about to be made. Like your Madam Lorena said, you will have to justify all of the time to our people. And some of us who might not support you in the future, will hold on this and we'll use it as a tool to let our people not to re-elect you. The first thing is, you will want to be vocal on too many issues, but the party you align with, the party you affiliate with, will tie your hand. It will tie your hand so you don't speak up. And if you speak up, people might say, "Oh, this man is an opposition to you. He wants to undermine the party that brought him to power." And the first thing, party did not bring you to power. Our people brought you to power, and they can bring you again once you are doing the right thing. Cyrus can oppose you 1,000 days. Once you stand for the truth, Nimba people will elect you. President Biden can spend 100 millions in Nimba. If you don't do the right thing, he will not elect you. So for people to say, this budget, like you said, I was impressed when you said something will come out that will benefit Nimba, and Nimba will laugh. But you cannot draw comparative analysis based on population. Now, I'm not a student of development studies, but when you look at development theory, development is tied to population. Nigeria is ahead of all of us in Africa right now because of their population. They take advantage of it. So Nimba in Liberia, Nimba is too much. And the budget is benefiting Lofa more from the draft. You said something will come out different from the draft, but Lofa is benefiting. Lofa and Bond are benefiting more than Nimba. Per why is rating on the budget. So if assuming Bonai admitting if that's the truth, then how then will Nimba benefit when Mita the mountain we have on Nimba is going and Wologisi is reserved for Lofa?
Thank you.
Thank you. Why
the guest dropping?
Thank you. The guest that dropped, he will rejoin us. Cyrus, thank you. And when the guests come, we will end up with Siawete and Grace on this round. And after that, we go to the political discussion. We need to discuss politics. We can't leave it out for him to just leave like that. I personally last night.
I don't speak you. All that thing you party around, I don't speak you.
But Deacon, when we come to you, we can still go in front.
I'm a member of the Union Party. I'm not taking that allegation lightly.
Okay, no problem. We'll come to you.
I'm not
let you rejoin us. He's here already.
Yeah.
Thank you, Senator. Welcome back.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I have. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So you can respond to
asking
Cyrus.
your question. I think I heard most of your question. If I can just respond.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So Cyrus, the way I do my politics, the way I do my politics, I'm quite aware, that everybody will not like you, everybody will not support you. But I'm very clear about what I do. The standard that you have in judging me on today, I set that standard, not you. With all due respect to my predecessor, they set some standard, but I took it to another level. I set the standard for judging, researching, and bringing concession companies to book to the highest level, technically, not politically. I set that standard, not you, Cyrus. So it is my own standard that you're holding me on, and I appreciate that. So don't make it look like your standard. No, prior to me, you never had that highest standard of judging and critiquing, concession company, both technically, economically, to the highest level, dragging them to the capital and making sure that the executive, IMCC, everybody, you dragging the whole government. No, I said that standard. And I want to assure you today on.
Yeah, man.
I think.
I'm pretty sure calls are coming in. So
yeah, he's using his laptop though. He's using his laptop, so
yeah, he's sharing. Probably he's sharing.
He's having problem with the network. I think so.
Mm-hmm. But he will rejoin us again, folks. If you're just joining us tonight, you are listening to the Heat Hour program here on BKS TV. On the Heat Hour, we say dialogue and not confrontation. We say words and not bullet. Tonight's show is heavily loaded with songs of Nimba, intellectual ones too as well. We have Councillor Garrison Daughter Yellow here tonight. We have Senator Yandi Twain Jr. is also here. Former PMC Chairman Peterson Walker is also here. And a veteran, Maferson David is here. The CEO himself is also here. DK Way is here. Siawete Zogeto is here. Soon to be Antonia Law. Cyrus D. Dankwa is also here. My friend and brother, the public administration man. Chris Silly is also here. Madam Lorena too is here. And I'm just the layman sitting in a corner listening to these intellectuals, the gurus. Again, we say
while we wait on the honorable to join us, and we still have our followers, in my capacity as the CEO of this platform, I want to make this clear. I know DK touched on it a little bit. This platform, from the genesis of it, it has been a platform open to everyone. DK, Siawiti, and all the founders, Mafasin and myself, we have reached out to everyone that we know, everyone in our connection, be it in government, opposition, everybody. We have invited people from everywhere to be part of this platform. On this platform, we don't target anyone. The VP is our leader. We respect him at the highest level. I personally have relationship with people that work with him. Yeah. We talk, we do all that stuff. We reach out to people, and this is open to everyone. So, the senator and my brother will talk that after here, but I want to make this clear while people are following. This platform does not in any way, shape, or form target anyone. It's for everyone, opposition, imposition, everyone is invited on here. It's a Liberia platform, NIMA platform. Our goal is actually to make it an international platform. So I just thought to make that clear. We will disagree here and agree here, on policies issue, on political issues, even though I'm not a politician, but we talk it behind the scene there. But we don't target anyone. This platform is not against the VP, our leaders from the county, or anyone else. So I just thought
CEO, there is nothing about window dressing. There is nothing about speaking with the senator offline. He made the statement online. I think the statement really doesn't represent his office. It doesn't represent his person. He should take the statement back. Yeah. Because irrespective of, political alignment or wanting to be party enthusiast, you should well know that all of us contributed to, creating the government of the day. But to want to carve a narrative that if you speak on ills in society is being equated to being against the senator or the vice president, I think is wrong. It is not something that I would expect him to even mention. He's an intellectual. His presence on the show could tell. He's able to address some of the issues and admit to some of the things and see some of the recommendations that's coming forth. And I think this is healthy for our democracy, especially people, bringing out issues to their leaders, because we operate a representative democracy. So to even go to tell Cyrus that I set the standard is not your standard, he didn't set any standard. When we were electing him, we elected him with the hope in mind that he would have represented our interests. He would have done things in our interest. There were a lot of people in the race, and we put our lives on the line to make sure that he takes the title that he bears today. We didn't do it out of the blue. We didn't do it without expectation that he will come to represent us in the right way, but to generalize or to make this, to insinuate that to speak on ills in society, it means we are speaking against the vice president. That is something unheard of, and I really did not expect it to come from somebody like him. We are striving every day. The platform is not paying anybody, but we are doing it because if you have a platform like this that will serve as a bastion of hope for our people and for knowledge sharing, I think they should welcome it. Those of them who are in leadership should welcome it, and they should even support it. But if somebody, gave an opinion, you cannot, generalize that opinion to say even, I say it. So even in your slightest mind, dream of that. As a leader of the county, is unhealthy. Tomorrow or day after, they will put on a fight. They are government. Who knows what action he will take to even close your station? So we should be able to put it in his face so that he knows. We elected him and we checkmate every action and every move he made. Now, the revenue sharing law for the fact that a portion of it has not been implemented, and it is the government responsibility. Nimba County can even sue the government for that. If it is in any serious society, Nimba can sue the government for that. So it's not to say for the fact that it does not affect Nimba alone, is not selected, it happens to all counties. Who cares which county it happened to? I'm speaking for Nimba. I'm not here to speak for Kemon. I'm highlighting what Nimba deserves. And to see that as a hit against the vice president or a hit against him, our senator, that we stood on the queue, we took the ring and song to elect, it is disheartening, it's despicable. I really don't expect that from him. And he should take it back. Even with the supposition A, he should take it back. Thank you.
Yeah, excuse me.
Thank you, man. Lorena, we will come to you. I beg you. Councillor, let's hear you.
This is the same thing we have been seeing on this platform. He just validated what those things we have said here. That when you speak in the interest of Nimba, it means you are against the vice president. That's just what he validated tonight. And I'm a lawyer. I don't know all. But I know when law is passed, it supersedes administrative regulations. Setting up the fiscal board is administrative. The revenue formula was adopted last year, September. You know why in the minds of the legislature at the time when they were passing that or revenue sharing law, they repealed section 7 of the 2000 revenue code. They repealed that so the money can go sit in the county account. You get what I'm saying? So the money can go sit in the county account. Nobody is saying, I'm not here to speak for Lofa or speak for Grand Kitmon. My mother not from there, my father not from there. My mother is from Nimba, my father is from Nimba. So if I have to live an issue, it should be for Nimba. All I have said and admitting, the administrative processes does not stop the government putting the money in the escrow account. When I was at the GC, the reason then, you say, maybe the question is that why the CDC government never put it there is that at that time, you have not adopted the revenue sharing formula. Which government did that? It was the rescue government in 2024. They adopted it. And I'm not going back to 2024 or 2023 or any other year. The 45 million that are calculated is as of the time the formula was adopted. I'm not going back. If we were going back, we'll be talking, look at the same talking about Putu Martin. During Putu Martin time, you never have revenue sharing law. You never have the revenue sharing law. So my argument,
I'm back. I have the flow.
Yeah, my argument have been very clear.
No, you got a point of order.
I just stand up. Every time I talk, then you come, you hijack. It's not good. You can always listen to you because obviously the technique that you don't want people to listen to the opposition forces. It's not good. You have to respect. Don't censor our opinion. The argument I keep raising is as of the time the revenue sharing formula was adopted in 2024.
Councillor, let me ask you.
Yeah,
you will conclude there. Let me ask you this. You got anything to do with the Senator Newe from Moyon?
Obviously, Moyon, we will give him a chance so that he can speak because this is good for us. Anyway, Moyon, to do it. Anyway, it's a good cracker. But let me say this. Administrative processes does not stop a law. It does not stop the central government from putting the money there while we set up the fiscal board. The fiscal board is to work with the local authority and then they tell how the money will be used. But the money should be set there, it should be placed there. My argument is 2025, the government should pay Nimba 10 million. 2026, it should be from the royalty and taxes, it should be 15 million. Not 25 million there. Plus the 200 million. So the 10% of the 200 million will make it 45 million. In as much that the fiscal board have not been set, there is no law that say the money should not be placed in Nima County escrow account, and when the fiscal board is set up, they need to get it. You know the troubling issue here. I mean, give you one example. If the senator stay here, when you said in 2015 they said they wanted tax holiday.
Council,
at 1 minute, please.
Yeah, no, Council. I just wanted the senator is struggling with internet, so when he come out, that allow him to speak, so that
okay,
I think he's really struggling with internet as well.
Can he join? Can he join by WhatsApp? That we can keep the conversation. He doesn't have to be on the floor, but a voice can be heard. He can listen.
In 2015, Metro City asked for tax holiday because of the Ebola virus. And you know what they did? In the national budget, they reduced NEMA amount to 750,000. We told them no. Even if you know that you are not generating the money now, put the 1.5 million in the budget so that tomorrow it will be credit that y'all get our money back. But if you put 750,000 in the budget, it means you might get only 750,000. All we are saying, while we wait for the fiscal board, put our 45 million in the
thank you, Council. Senator, welcome back because your network is giving problems. So we want
to froze again.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you hearing us?
You hearing me?
Yeah, we can hear
you.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I was responding to whatever I heard. I will come to it later, but I was responding to Cyrus. And I think when I left the line, I was still hearing Marvin trying to misquote me again. And Marvin, I think, yeah, you should be careful along the line of quoting people. I said that I set the standard for myself. I set that standard. It was not Sarah who said that standard. So I am holding myself to that standard firstly, to hold me feet to the fire. The language you use, you heard it. He said, I listen to your shallow advocacy about ArcelorMittal. How is that shallow? Some of the critical work I have done against ArcelorMittal, nobody has done it before. To be very technical, I praise all of the lawmakers before me. They elevated some of the greatest issues against ArcelorMittal. They are the giant who showed us a stand, including the caucus that was the first to raise the issue 2024 April. Do you people know that I was not even the first person? It was the caucus that raised the issue. When the caucus laid the foundation, I took it and ran with it technically. So the issue of ArcelorMittal is not shallow. And to you and Honorable Yelu's point, putting the money in the budget does not ready for ArcelorMittal. ArcelorMittal gave the George Weah government $50 million in 2023 to ratify the agreement. Was it ratified? Was it ratified? No, it was never ratified. The very Avanho gave $37 million to the George Weah government. Did they ratify that document? No. The traffic management system in this country, they pay all of the money to the Weah government. They never implemented a concession until the United Party government came. The way these things work, it doesn't mean contingency that if it comes, why you think Honorable Yelu and Sarah, the government were not brave enough to put the $200 million into the midstream budget and they put it on a contingency. So that crazy people we dealing with here in UP, that would take the whole $200 million and put it on a contingency and say, wait, we might get the money or we might not get the money. So let's put in contingency, even if it is money that meant for trigger. So are you telling me now that we've already voted, the 73 lawmakers are already voted, the 30 senators are already voted to ratify the document? What I can tell you people is that as your senator, I will do everything in my power as I have started to make sure that NEMA get the best deal out of this ratification. If not, I will not vote for it. And we will have to make sure and count me in that there will be commitment for retroactive implementation of the current violated MDA. We're clear on that. We are very clear on that. So, Sarah, when you come up, you call it shallow, you call it this. For me, unless you people put me back on track. But I don't know where I have gone wrong in any of my advocacy against ArcelorMittal. I've been consistent, I've been straight with them. And the issues are in committee room along with the president and with the legislative caucus, and we're waiting for the agreement to come. And my position is clear because they are in the budget. I use my legislative power to abstain from it and walk out. That voting. I don't also want to vote against the United Party government budget of $1 billion. But the point two, I don't want to be part of it. I'm clear on that. I'm not here to come throw the government under the bus. There are a lot of good things in the budget that are coming for clinics and hospitals in Nima County. There are things that are coming for roads in Nima County that the budget has in it, and I needed to happen for my people. I got volunteer teachers and volunteer nurses that are coming on board to serve our people who are dying for curable diseases. We got it in the budget. We got enough amount in the budget to buy drugs for hospitals and clinics. Yes. We got a little bit of increment for the health sector in Nima so that they can face maternal waiting rooms and what have you for our people. I cannot get already throw it under the bus. But because of that 200 million, I see and withdrew. But my hands work on that budget too to make sure that these things happen. So, Cyrus, this is my point. My advocacy is not shallow. It has not changed. It remains consistent. That's the point I wanted to make. And my thing, I said that standard for myself. I didn't say that I said it. Oh, yeah, I know you got expectation for me to do so. But what's stopping me from saying it too? If you can say that you hail me to account for the standard. Why against both of my own standard that I said? Yes, I held myself accountable.
All right, I come with John. Thank you. Senator.
Listen to my introduction. I'm called Senator Nyandi Twain Jr., Senator Nima County, the lead campaigner for concession compliance. That is my new title in the Senate.
Yeah, Senator, I did not misquote you. To be frank with you, the first round of the election. I come in. The first round of the election.
Can I go to
look at the face of Senator Prince Johnson, and then I voted Nyandi Twain Jr. I didn't do it out of the blue. I did it because I knew who I was voting. And then I have that expectation, the standard set for you. Now, the issue I was speaking to was when you made that supposition that the presentation here is against either you or the vice president. I take exception to that.
Nobody, he's not here. Let him come back and then
thank you.
You can make that point.
Once he comes, a lot we need to go for. We need to go for the second round once he comes. So we will start with Siawete, Grace, and then DK. But the CEO want to say something before we go to Siawete.
No, my first thing, I know you wanted to buttress what I said, but since the senator is online, let me make this clear, practically clear to him and to our audience. The senator himself know that we go way back when it comes to BKS platform, including the one that is in Butuo. He knows how much we work together, how much we work together. So BKS platform, I want to make this clear to him and to the VP and to everyone else who's listening there, is for everyone. We are in no way, shape, or form targeting anyone, including the senator himself.
I got no reason to believe otherwise.
You guys are all our leaders. We have reached out to every one of you, including yourself. We have reached out to folks from the VP office, everywhere around Nima, all people, everyone from all parties. We've invited everyone to come on here. So this platform for everyone. Now, there may be some people that will say some things here that you may not agree with, but that does not in itself frame our platform as anti-Senator Twain, anti.
No. I didn't say that either. Yeah.
No, I know you didn't say that, but I just want to make that clear because people are listening and people sometimes they misread things. So BKS platform is for Nimanians, for Liberians, for everyone. No political party affiliation for everyone. So you are welcome. In fact, you'll make this your show now going forward. This is not going to be your last time coming on. We will hold your feet to the fire and we'll keep calling you just the same way as Honorable Koga, Honorable Ability, and all your colleagues are doing. We hope that you do. And I stick with my point that anything you're doing, Nima, that you're trying to make sure you invite BKS. We are all from Nima. We are all this whole leadership thing for every one of us. So make sure you get us included. I just thought to make that point clear.
Okay.
Thank you. Siawete, you are on camera. You keep going.
And to Cyrus, I want Cyrus to know that, Sarah, you don't need to support me, but you have a right to me. You have the right to question me. And I owe it to you to answer to you as well. And it's people like you who make us to be better lawmakers. So I want you to know that let the discourse go on. Even if you don't support me in the future, no problem. I've always stated that. So let's work together on this. Last night I stated it. Don't mind me. I can be a little bit political, but I appreciate discourse. That's how I grew up, from high school through youth leadership and to mainstream politics. So we admire this, and we just threw it out there so you can know that I myself got small political punch too. But I admire the courage of everyone here on the platform to critique us.
It's a small political person, you get big political point.
Thank you so much. Siawate, let's hear you. On the second round, we'll put one of the panelists at the back to bring Madam Lorena to ask before we do the same again. Let's hear you, Siawate.
You will not ask question tonight. One is the United Party people, so you forget about her.
Thank you, Junior. Good evening to the senator. The senator being who again?
No, that you who go talk about the senator.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's a pleasure to be on the show with the senator. Thanks for making your first appearance. Long last, at least we have been able to get hold of the senator. So I just wanted to
appearance on any last screen show in my whole life.
So, I mean, tonight is a nice conversation, and I think the conversation deeply is with the raising concern about the formulation of the budget, how NIMA stands to benefit. And some of us argument as a United Partisan is far beyond partisanship. And our intention and interest while we voted you, we knew that you know the work. That's why we did everything to get you elected. My concern last night, if you're following, was the issue of the budget, the PFM rule on the issue of the consolidated fund that has to do with the signature fee and what have you. And I think last night when you call, I want to also note from this that when you say the fiscal board are not being set, don't you think that the legislature have infringed on the rights of the NIMA people? Because when you read the law, it clearly says the money should be deposited into consolidated account because it's a fund by law. So now the argument is that the fiscal board are not being set. So how will the implementation be? And this thing is just a appropriation that is just for this fiscal year. It's a one flow annual revenue that it won't come when there's no, when there's no signature fee for next budget year. Don't you think it's a violation to the NIMA people that requires even a lawsuit that this budget can be placed on hold until we get the benefit to the NIMA people? Because there will not be signature fee on next year. The Revenue Sharing Act is very clear that there should be a consolidated account that the money be placed. And we are seeing NIMA not benefiting. But the argument is about fiscal board, and that should not be the argument. So that's why I'm asking you, what's the way forward for NIMA?
Yeah. I want you to know that, to you and Honorable Yelu's point, I said this is the obvious that we all are stating. I stand with my colleague, Senator Koga, who here I discussed and we research the law for him to go on the floor and bring this issue up. Yeah. I am not the one arguing that the fiscal board has not been set. It is the executive who I always argue all along. It is erroneous. Do we have to revert to lawsuit? We could. But my point I'm trying to make is that it's not a NIMA alone issue. The people of Cayman can say the same thing about B Mountain. The people of Bomi can say the same thing about B Mountain. The people of River G or River C can say the same thing. All the extractive industry, that's true. My thing is, you are right. Honorable Yelu is right. We may not have $200 million anytime soon again for any stuff. If we lose it, $20 million, we lost it. But this is the executive branch. It's a national problem. If we have to revert to court, then we'll go to court. But I am saying the excuse they have always given is, like Lorena said, there are administrative procedure and social procedure that even the counties and the government have not put in place there for this money. And the fact of the matter is that, on your point as a lawyer, is that it's clear. You get 200 million, put 20 million in our stuff, the administrative stuff will come later on. So if it costs us to go through lawsuit, I'm going to talk to several opinion leaders in NIMA, talk to Honorable Koga, who raised the issue. Let's see how we can remedy the issue. But government, what are that CDC government? What are that Ellen United Party, that Joseph Boakai United Party? They all have done this to us. And as a UP lawmaker, I'll be the first to say that the government has been able to disenfranchise we who own extractive industry in our country. I will be the first UP lawmaker to say, hey, and any kind of way we can anything we can do to get our money from them, we can do it. Because 200 million are coming anytime soon. You are right. You guys are right. It's not a debate.
Thank you, Senator.
But they get excuses to get out of the time.
Thank you. I think that one, I think I will encourage you and Senator Kugah and the rest of the caucus to also look into that, because we will not get signature fees soon. I know before going, I want to bring you to this about NIMBA. And I think I heard you a few years ago before your excellency about the infrastructure development of the county. And there have been this argument about development, the trend of development in the county by the superintendent. There are a lot of projects in the county, like you said, and you as a financial person that understand the issue of return on investment. There have been this argument in the county about how the fund is being used in the county with the construction, and your colleague Honorable Kugah also raised similar point in previous appearance and even on other sister radio stations and network. I want to get a fair view as to how the distribution of the resources is being used in the county, because other people's argument is there are a lot of priority projects as to those projects that is going on right now that may not bring return to the county, like building immigration, the superintendent compound, Tapeta, carrying 400,000 and other things. And you being a financial president, an expert or policy president, do you think those investments have a return to NIMBA? And what can NIMBA benefit in the next few years? And why your take on that?
So this is a very consequential question, and it is very important, and I will be straight with you people, that we all drop the ball along the way. The legislative caucus and the entire national government, even the superintendent. And we didn't drop the ball because we wanted to. And I want you to listen carefully to this and come along with me. When the law was passed to take the power away from the lawmakers and give it to the county council and the superintendent to run the governance of the county, that was a critical moment. Because at that time, everybody thought that the lawmakers were spoiling the money, the lawmakers were eating the money. So the lawmakers themselves decided, say, let's relinquish ourselves of the county headache and set up a council to represent a legislature that will approve the budget of the superintendent and they will do development with it. But little did we know that there needed to be administrative procedure. When the law was passed, it was not implemented soon. So the government decided to carry on administrative procedure. Where we are now, you know what I told the rest of the caucus members, including Senator Kugah and the chairman of the caucus? We all got problem with the way in which the money is being, dispensed. But we were learning how to implement the local government, including the superintendent, the county council, and us. For the last 72 hours, I can break this news to you that we had a very critical meeting with the superintendent, the legislative caucus, with the vice president involved. In that meeting, we have come up with a clear guideline as to how we will proceed. Even before that meeting, the reason I was reluctant to criticize the superintendent was simple. Is that there was never a time where the legislative caucus sat down together and said, these are social issues that will impact the lives of our people. This is a listing of it, included in the budget for this year. We didn't do that. And she was running with how she envisioned the county. So at that point in time, I can fault her for her vision that the law gave her the power to do. But our oversight also suggests that we bring recommendations from our people of the project that they need. So as you will see in the coming budget, members of the caucus will be made to make suggestions. As you know that we cannot impose. But Senator Kugah was neither wrong. Nana was the superintendent wrong for her vision of how she envisioned to move the country forward. So again, when I talk, people say, oh, then that part of the rock and the hard place there. One person using the law as a superintendent, the law gave me the right to draw all my plan and give it to the county council to approve it. She did it, the county council approved. The county council that we lawmakers get our rights to. The second time she did it again, they approved. And one, and we all had some issues. And Senator Koga voiced it out. So moving forward, we need to change that dynamics. The law did not say that we can participate. It just said that we cannot make the final decisions. But it doesn't mean that Zia Bridge must be there forever. Zia Bridge, it can mean that you can't come from Zopre to Sangapre to go, no room will be there. No, it doesn't suggest that. It doesn't mean that Zopre cleaner that hold some of the higher amount of be better in the country, there are mountains waiting who should not be built. So these are critical issues now that moving on that we are looking into. And we had that meeting, the superintendent is on board, and I can announce to you people that there's no bad blood between Senator Koga and the vice president. There's no bad blood moving on between the superintendent and Senator Koga. We harmonize some of the issues. Apologies were exchanged. Apologies were made. New vision were engendered to move the country forward. And that's one of the breaking news that BKS can boast of tonight, that the county caucus met with the leadership of the county along with the vice president.
But they pay for that other one.
How much? You wait. You still owe me my boy. No, you still owe me my
Thank you, Senator.
Minnesota. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Senator. We have been here for almost 2 hours with the senator. We will try to take leave of him, but we still have two panelists I have to ask. Let's go to TK. TK, please.
We have some recommendation, or let's say some.
But John, you allowing the senator to go? Why?
No, a couple of text messages are being exchanged behind the scene. That's why. Yeah, but we will give our recommendation, and
the senator will be listening to all going that beat man. And because I your friend that beat man there lying go.
Go ahead, TK.
You see the man going there, they see. You don't want to tell.
Anything you want to do to me, no problem. That's why you give me the power to be in a hot seat. If I want this to happen, I should move my hand from India. When your hand in it will happen that way. But I want to say thank you. If this is my parting comment, I won't mind.
No. Senator, we stay you for like 15 minutes. I beg you. TK, go ahead with your
no problem.
Okay, thank you, Senator. Again, the heat hour here. So anything you hear on the heat, how the heat hour look like. Few clarities I wanted to provide. Then I come with my question. Senator, you are a Unity Party man. The only party me D-Way know. The Unity Party. And so the way you guys are proceeding with our party in the country, we are not satisfied. So when we say we want to get better and get best, whoever want to get mad with us, we will sit here. And even when someone on here will sit on our phone and do Facebook Live and say and speak about the ills in the society. You, Senator Yan Twain, the treatment they get to women P, who sacrificed to make the party the way it is. Have you spoken about it? You, Senator Yan Twain? If they have thrown you under the bus the way they did to the former chairman and former secretary general of our party, who will sit on the video platform and say, because you're sitting down there as executive of the party, you're killing our party in the country. You executive member of the party, yeah. When now you have party leadership, when now you call Unity Party, they say, you have to come together and talk the ills in the place. Your own picking, Prince Day, that not on the show printed what on the last hour. Speaking about all the ills in the country before y'all went somewhere and found some kind of thing to do. Y'all know how many times CDC chased those balls in the country? Those are things we want to speak on here. Two, when you hear me, I can speak to the vice president. You know why? When I say it here, when I call, you can pick up my phone. The vice president not doing well with our party. He running the party. He vice president for the party. He running Unity Party with auxiliary groups in the country. Say that D-Way say it. The FOJ on the other side and the other one I think my phone before they awarded him the position are the two dominant institutions in the country. But you know what? Unity Party was on ground before they joined. And you don't expect us to say, I will say it because I'm a member of the Unity Party. The chicken that in that Unity Party, that Jackson Fair, those chicken, we brought it out while we stayed there. So we say that you, Senator Twine, when you say the hard rock, you just being political. You are afraid to say something Koga is saying. Senator, I say here louder and you are listening. I say here, you will not say the intellectual, you will not say because already the vice president get people against all those people when they speak their mind. I said the example on Yedu. The vice president prepared Gompu against Yedu. It's a fact. The vice president have Flomo against Queen Topa. He has same Miana against Larry Yonkwe. All those people he have Kotokwa group against Koga. All those things are facts. Believe it or not, look at them, you see them they talking because they can see my brother then in your office, some of them carrying zine, then they carry everything in their office. They feel that they may not come in contest. You can hear men honest anymore. They are afraid that because the vice president might be preparing people against them. Yeah, where the vice president was that you know that women are going to be and fire that he have and think about with him in the room. And you say we should not say that member of the Unity Party. Yeah, we will say that because when this party was about to die, there were few young people like us who stood and said, this is our party, and we will stand by our party. And
so before I forget,
anybody say something here that say, quote me, I'm DK, what deep with away. I will say
thank
that.
You, DK.
So,
DK, thank you. Let us in the response.
D, in the first place, let me correct you. The Unity Party is an open democratic political institution. I don't see any Nimbayan that has suffered the wrath of Unity Party more than me. Because the Unity Party is so democratic and straightforward, it doesn't pick and choose when it's ready for decision. It takes it straight in the interest of itself. And I want everybody who comes to join the Unity Party, UP does not select anybody in favor of her interest. Number one, do you know that I was duly elected to be the candidate of the Unity Party in 2023 on the ticket of the UP as senatorial candidate? Are you aware? As a 2005 member and executive member of the Unity Party, one of the youngest executive members at the time. 2023. But when the MDR and the UP collaborated, what did the UP do? The UP threw me away and told me that I would not put you on the ticket. Even though I was already elected by United Party in Nimakane to be that senatorial candidate. That's how I ran independent in 2023. Why am I saying this story to you? So that you can't think that it's personal. UP always go for the ultimate interest of the political institution. When it comes to Waymo issue, the first person that I heard that was the minister was Waymo. And the reason you haven't seen me talk about it because I have been finding way, and Waymo is my witness for us to talk. You can't talk in something that you don't know the details. On one morning, I was discussing certain issues with Waymo, and Waymo yet told me I would not be in the ministry this much longer anymore. When I asked him why, he said, well, me will talk. That evening, Waymo was replaced by Tingman. I called Waymo a couple of days after that for a long time. He didn't pick up until when the homecoming of Unity Party were coming, I called him, he answered, he said, you're going to come, but he did not come that time. So there still need to be a conversation to be held with Waymo before I can speak to it. When it comes to the vice president and whether he had Tingman in the room and what they call, I don't know. The vice president does not run the party in Nimad. The vice president is a political being who will have a tentacles and a political structure in and outside of the party, which is useful. But when it comes to the political institution as Unity Party in Nimakane, the vice president does not run it. He is national. Nelson Bianca is our, head. I am one of the political leaders in the party from the country. No, listen to me. No, listen to me. And we got strong men on the ground like Benedict Tomanen that you don't want to take it from them. I have a lot of meetings with the political structure on the ground. The political decision that I made in the country are made by the party. The vice president, yeah, he got FOJ, he got maintain that. Kingman got what I turn in or Nima Ejana or what? What kind of movement, man? It is his right. You got your right to do it too.
Solidarity movement.
The solidarity movement. I got the Nyandi Toya Junior Foundation, the Nyandi Toya movement for Senate. It doesn't preclude me from being, a member of the Unity Party and executive. So I want to say this to you, Wayne. I know how passionate you are about the party. This is not a party platform I would discuss it. But your passion for the party, where it stops, there where another person's passion starts. And so we all have to do it on a diverse. And we don't know one thing about UP today, lastly. This party does not take prisoner. It can eat babies. It barely dancing and join. There is a political party in Liberia that expel a sitting chairman and that expel a stand-up bearer. Other political parties not do it before, but to expel both chairmen. You know, women were suspended before by the same party as chairman. Do you know that Ellen Johnson said he was suspended, if I were expelled by this party? Women were expelled by this party. You know, I was suspended by the party. My brother, Jay, the few times, what did they take to me?
So can you speak to your suspension?
For not attending executive committee meeting, they suspended me and found me 1,000. I put my name on radio. Everybody started causing me in the whole country. The party here believe in itself and its institutionalization. So if you want to be individualistic about it, find a different party. But the party can take side. And now UP there, it is not built upon anybody persona. It is built solely on how the party applies its rules to all. But when it comes to the issue of women, that's something I will have a conversation of. But until I talk to women, I can't speak to that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Take us home, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you that the senator mentioned about Zero. I hope it's not a political thought only because the people have been suffering. Let me say this. The senator made a statement last night, he said today. And we gotta be clear to it. For me, the senator, he might all meditated about the show. It's not a joke. I know he mentioned about the VP. I just student politics. The soup we think about, I mean, part of soup. You cannot intimidate us because we are critical voices on the show. No, because a statement tonight clearly shows that you're trying to, intimidate the critical voices in the country, and which we are condemn it. Because let me say this, Senator, as a senator, and also making the VP say when you say this on the show, you put your life in danger out there. And which one of us here we are radical people of the me. I'm not scared. I would say it the way I see it. So I want to say that. I'm not scared, Senator. I'll be bold. So my question to you is.
That's a question, man.
Yeah, my question to you is, Senator.
I mean, you scared, man. Or I'll be more again.
The man remind me of Senator. They don't say not scared.
You gotta wait. Not scared. You're not
scared, but you're afraid. Like
when security happened, what defend the country? Senator Nyantoya was on the side with the party.
So ask a question.
When what they happy?
I will get to that, Senator. So the issue of my question is, Senator, you make a statement that the budget is about the president. I think your previous introduction to the budget issue. And Marcy made a statement that had to do with looking at the favorite countries, the allotment. When your statement, when you agree, Lofa benefiting from the budget more than Nimba, and Nimba gave this government a vote that make the Unity Party today President want to be president. Hey. When your stock constant, when you agree that Nimba was used by the Unity Party and Bwaka, that they have not benefited anything when it comes to the budget allocation that is going on in the country. One. And my last question would be, as a senator of the country, looking at the variety of the country right now, where it's sitting right now, I want to understand looking at your preparation of the budget, can you promise the platform, the people of Nima, that Senator Prince Johnson University, because we went through the budget last year, we couldn't see anything there. Can you tell us on the show, because I remember CC regime, the last 3 years ago, the morning death of Senator Johnson University. Can you promise
Thank you.
us on the show that the PYJ University is in the budget, beyond close door? Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. Go ahead, Senator.
Yeah, I will start with the last question. Last year, the same way you know, saw PYJ written in the budget, but it got $50,000. Now, the same way this year budget, PYJ will be in the budget. There are two ways to do the budget. You see the book I show you, and the budget book is big. So now when they finish bringing it and we do the addendum and the addition, we don't have to take all and put it in the one budget book. We just communicate to the Ministry of Finance, and then everybody else is aware. I can assure the people of Nima and you tonight that PYJ will be in the budget. Period. And I clear on that one. This is me stating it for the records. And your other issues, you know, that you raise, if I can remember some, but I remember the PYJ issue. What were your other point again?
My last point, my first point was for Unit Party, for President Barrow became president today. It was Nima County because the last voter waiting for
Okay,
Nima.
I
So
got
look
it.
at
I get it.
Yeah,
The way in
look
which
at the budget. Look at the
Yeah.
budget. Look at the budget.
I got it. I got it.
Nofa have benefited more in the
Chris.
budget than Nima.
Chris.
Do you agree that they use Nima?
Chris.
Yeah.
Chris, I think it must be established here that Nima County is one of the advanced counties in this country, next to Mosurado in terms of everything. I can challenge anybody. Nima County is one of the advanced counties, developed counties. We got the highest number of schools next to Mosurado, the highest number of hospitals and clinics next to Mosurado, the highest amount of probably paved road than any other county in the country. And for that, I want and let me establish that fact. When you establish and then we move on, we don't prepare the budget based upon competition of county. But this is what I'm going to tell you quickly. That until the final budget can come out, based on the budget papers that are in my hand, don't run to conclusion. You will let the budget pass. Then we start dealing with the numbers line by line. Unity Party does not use Nima. And Lord and I forget every time we discuss the issue. And this is me being very practical. Whether you opposition, you position, you no position, you PO. We are blessed as a county to occupy the second highest seat in the land. Sometimes because we have it now, we tend to overlook it. And we think that the dividends not coming. No, the dividends are there. But the details are within. And some of them will not be spoken of. But when it comes to the leadership of this country, and this is me talking, maybe I come and go now, you're coming get rid of me, let me just let you know. This is the closest democratic we have been closer to the executive mansion. You think I'm happy that Garrison can be calling himself opposition man, making plan to dethrone this our governance structure in 2029? You think I'm happy about the political maneuvering that led that misplacing and displacing today? But sometimes I just want us to talk as brother in-house. And we need to find a forum for that, not on the radio. And so Senator Koga got some very beautiful and crafted, suggestion about it that he brings to me. And I told you at some point in time we'll do it and bring people together and talk in-house and be sensing one another and say, look, Dogole was here, Chancellor was never given our manpower. It is alleged that he had a hand in his ailment. We knew fully well Moses Brother was just one more arrangement thing. The closest that we have come to power, to cross from the Capitol building one step and jump to the executive mansion, is this era. And we have somebody in the executive mansion as that. With all that we do, with all our politics, our divergence, let us keep in mind that our point of convergence is that we have an individual who is at the Capitol building that has just one more step to take to cross democratically or by a SNSA in any moment in time of our history. And let us not be clouded by that. It's a big deal. Everybody wants it. Let the old people told the people in Bon County during the election. You know
Thank you,
how
Senator.
Bon get all hard time they put it, oh. So y'all want to take the serene from Bon County and carry it to Nima? That's serene that wow that in Nima
Thank
County.
you.
You gotta be mindful that other people wanted to. They're jealous they got what we have while remaining critical of us who are in the governance process and will do the needful to make sure to deliver on the promises that we made. And you're at a liberty at any point in time to keep criticizing us so that we can do the right thing for our people. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Senator. Before we take leave of you, we want to go to Councillor Garrison so that he can make his counter before you say we let you go and then we leave the
Garrison,
council
you be
here.
counting whole day. They counter attack, no go, and come from A. Garrison,
I mean, we ever just strike out number 7 and make it dancing all.
How many? How full?
Council, let's give you 3 minutes, please.
Yeah, I play a very good football in Yekepa and in the YMCA lead the records there. So, in fact, when you were in the executive, when we were playing the executive, I scored the second goal. You know that he didn't score in that game. So I get one record over you. But let's come to the issue. Senator, thank you. And I think it's good for us to have some of this conversation like this on behalf of NIMA. But when we come to this public discourse, at least we should be honest as much as possible. You talk about PYJ, the budget. This 2025 budget. I stand to differ with you looking at the budget there. There was zero outturn for PYJ University. And what the university has since been closed. You are also telling us again, PYJ will be in the budget. So, for me, Senator, it's hard to believe that because if you told us here on this platform that PYJ was in the budget 2025 and the outcome of the budget shows that it's zero, it was not in the budget, then it means it's something that we'll worry about. Like the second thing is that
can I get information to that?
Yeah.
Senator,
the outturn you see is as of October. That's not the outturn. The final outturn will be as of March 31st, 2026. You know that. So don't judge it by it. The outturn is as way honorable. You know that. You know the budget process. The budget outturn is October 2026. The actual outturn will be published after March 31st in the following year. When you don't see it there, then you say that. I just wanted to bring that up. You know that.
Senator, I'm a student of public administration, apart from being from a lawmaker. It's clear. When the outing is in October, it means from January to October, what is the university spend? So you're telling us here, from January to October, nothing went to that university. Now we in December.
That could be.
Yeah. Now we in December. I come in, Senator. The university is still closed. So 10 months of the budget, nothing went to PYJ. Now you're telling us the rest of the 2 months is a time that the money will go there where we want to see that magic. And let us all agree, Senator, like I said today, when it comes to the 200 million, I still maintain my position from yesterday because even in the 200 million, 6.18 million is what made NIMA money to be 7 million. So they tie that to the NIMA money also. 6.18 million is part of that 200 million. So looking at it, you have already put out tie a lot of project to this money already. I'm sure. But like I agree with you with the county council issue. Obviously, when I went to Banga to induct the county council, I had issues because the people I saw as council member, I knew any superintendent will use them. Obviously, those people I saw in Banga that are inducted into office, in Banga, I knew anybody can go to them and use them. That one, maybe apart from 1 or 2% in that number game, I knew. Because what most of the county did, they never brought their bright smiles on the council. The technical guys they never brought in. They took weak-minded people who anybody can just submit people to them. They will not analyze it and they will agree with it. And that I had issue. If you listen to my interview in 2023 in Banga and Grand Bazaar, or in Banga and Buchanan, I raised that issue. That there should be a clear or standard for those who will be on the council. Not just to take people from anywhere. There were people on the council talking about budget and you don't understand it. When they ask you question, when you ask them question, Senator, they will not tell you anything. So the last issue, Senator, even if it will cause you guys to raise money and go to the Supreme Court to issue the writ of mandamus, it will be good for NEMA. If you say it's not possible that we'll get 200 million coming soon, it's not possible.
Yeah.
So we should take advantage of this. And the law is the law. The law is say when you get a 10% when the fiscal bill is set up. The law says 10% belong to NEMA moment the revenue is collected. By that, it should be projected in the budget. So even if the government will say, we'll keep the money in the consolidated account while we wait for the fiscal bill, let it be projected so that tomorrow we can come and say to the government, you owe us. 2015, you collected 100 million, we have 10%, which is 10 million. In 2026, you projected 150 million, our 10% is 15 million, and the 200 million for signature bonus, our 10% is 20 million, our 45 million. Let it just be sitting down there. They all do the process, and then we sell out the fiscal bill, our money will, because the fiscal bill responsibility is they sign the transfer from the consolidated account to the county account.
Thank you so much, Councilor Yelu. We have to go, Councilor.
Getting our money. Thank you.
You got to give me 1 minute.
So, Senator, I beg you, bear with us. Peterson, let's give you 1 minute and 1 minute only.
Thank you so much, Senator. Thank you so much for your expose, and it was very, very fruitful having this discussion. I know very well you have advantage when it comes to leaving from the executive going to the House, because there are a lot of things happening in the executive, and when you get to the House, you know how to dance around it, you know how to make it better. So thank you very much for your expose. But this is what I want to say concerning that money. You were saying that NEMA alone is not suffering from that step. I mean, other counties are as well having problem. And I want to say this: the law for the LGA is just clear. You have two forms of the decentralization process. Is in two stages. The first stage is the deconcentration that has to do administrative, and that has to do with the administrative. Then you have the devolution that exactly talk about when you come from the stage, you get to the stage of devolution, it does not leave any stone unturned. It means the Local Government Act is fully being implemented. And that is why you just mentioned clearly that the superintendent, you were observing the superintendent to see what she's doing. She have her own vision, since indeed something was not set to guard the process. You were looking at it and you could not criticize it from the onset. Now, in that form, the government will not play on the counties that are not. If any other county is taking that, NEMA should not take that. And you was very clear about it. We don't just want you to make it a statement like a politics. It should be intentional.
Thank you.
Thank you so
much. I want you to do something about it because it's important. That money, we will not get it when it goes.
Thank you, Chair. Thank
you, Chairman. Senator Nyan, thank you so much for being here tonight. It has been a wonderful conversation with you. I know we couldn't touch all of the issues that we have in NEMA and Liberia, but we discussed lengthily tonight, and we appreciate your time for being here. In 3 to 4 minutes, you can respond to those people and give us your party.
I get 3 minutes. Let me give my little 1 second. That Honorable Twanya, on behalf of the platform, the leadership of this platform, we want to extend our thanks and appreciation to you for coming on board, coming to sit in the hot seat unexpectedly, and you answer all those questions, those tough questions. I want to say thank you to you, and we look forward to having you on here again in the future. If you have any answers for after the budgeting every time or before you go NEMA, anything you have to discuss, let's come on here and promote our platform. I want to say thank you so much, and we really appreciate it. You are muted. You can mute yourself.
Yeah, and I want to say definitely I appreciate everyone from, sometimes it comes across like, Nimbayans fight inside a lot, but outside there, if Garrison see anybody trying to harm me or I see anybody trying to do something to Garrison, definitely we internally we can do our fight in Nima, but when we get outside, we stand for each other. And I think that's why, here we are intellectualizing things, but we know we got each other back and we got the countries back.
Right.
But on the issue of this whole, revenue sharing stuff, any Nimbayan can go and sue. It doesn't even have to do with the legislature. Honorable Yelu Raya is a lawyer, can work to the Supreme Court tomorrow, he can sue because he's an injured party because he's a Nimbayan.
They will start talking about standing. The Supreme Court is very political. They will come with standing issue. We have done it before. The threshold bill, we went to court, and the court came and told us. So you who the lawmaker, we can sue through your. If you come to me, I can prepare the pleading. We can file it through your. But if we go directly, say we should go until we are injured. I know the Supreme Court.
So we can always do that through consolidated groups on the county. You can, So before we bring the parastatal government together, like that, different branches, we can always do that to the organization. But what I want to say here is that, look, this issue of the revenue sharing thing, I will put some work into it and get back to you.
Thank you.
I will speak with Senator Koga. I will speak to the revenue guy. I will speak to the Ministry of Finance. I will speak to lawyers. Let's see where has been the bottleneck to fully roll out this whole thing. Because when you talk to members of the executive, they just bring all kind of kitty kata thing. So we need to really understand where we are. And if we got legal ramification to that, that is something that anybody can figure and move on. But I think I want to be clear on the record that this is not a NIMA targeted thing. Other countries who got huge, extractive industry too with bee mounting operations are also losing up on the same amount. And it cannot continue any further. And this is the time for us to make progress on that. And I just want to repeat, but paraphrase what I said. This is NIMA country that we are serving. And from the vice president through Senator Koga, me, and the rest of the NIMA legislative caucus and some of your brothers who are serving in the government, the people of NIMA love this institution. And they love us. And they love even those who are other political parties. That's the reason why when we fight, it hurt them. So our discourse should be tailored on truth. It should be factual. And we should get away by, just putting people knee order because we want to put people knee order. To accuse people of something that they don't represent is a difficult thing. And it's difficult. And people don't like that. So you cannot discuss the issue. Let's stick to the issues and discuss it as we see it. But right now, some people want to make a whole drama out of the whole thing, call me and romanticize the issue by negatively aligning people. I think this is not what we stand for. Our tradition does not call for that. And the tradition that I come from, and you come from, and I know, and I want to say, Nima people, what we I don't know, we forceful or we this, that, we look in your face, say the truth to you without even lying on you. Because we don't need to lie to you. We don't need to lie on you. So I appreciate you guys, and every one of you. My dear sister, the single lady in the house, the iron lady, I want to appreciate you for all the work that you've done. And D, just so you know, we still waiting for your contribution from the diaspora for the United Party headquarters. You will not sit here, you made all that long speech, and you're not sending your own money here. I'm the chairman for Nima County. You must send your own money. And with that said, Mr. P, Honorable Garrison Yelu, one of the young men and the middle-aged men who I feel has a whole lot to offer this country. I appreciate you a whole lot. Let's continue the discourse. You are the reason why we are here. And at some point in time, I can assure you that we'll find a point of convergence. I can assure you that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Don't lie. You're not CDC man, my man. You're Nima Gade man. You're not CDC man.
I'm Nima Gade man, but I get my right though.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Senator. Thank you for being here tonight. And so that was the voice of Senator Nyan Twayen. Tonight, Councillor Garrison didn't appear as a guest or a panelist, but we're keeping here so that he can have his 1 or 2 cents on what the senator said tonight, what he thinks is not correct, what he thinks he agreed to or disagreed to, so that we can have it going tonight for the show. We're going to have at most maybe 15 to 20 minutes on this segment. Therefore, we give each person 2 minutes to do that. But I want to start with myself. Then we go to Councillor Yelu, Veteran Matheson, Mr. Walker, and all of the folks. I admire the senator tonight a lot. But from what he said, you can find lies and truth into what he said. And one of the lies that I found into what he said tonight was the fact that he walked out of session because of Asilamenta 200 million due. That's not true. He prioritized the interests of the Unity Party over the interests of the Nima people. I have a document in my possession, and I want to affirm what Councillor Yelu said, that the AML MDA extension had been signed. That document went before the president October 31, and it was signed by all of them, the Minister of Finance, the folks on AML, all of them signed that document. I got it here. Someone from inside sent it to me. That document had been signed. And he tried to trick us tonight to believe that he's not in the interest of this 200 million. He said he will push the argument for this 200 million to be a dividend for what Asilamenta owed the people of Liberia. A dividend, and that money has already been dispersed. You call it a dividend? You call it that it's sitting in a consolidated account? You want to lie to us? We didn't eat our school fees on Pepe Kara, like you always say. We didn't eat our school fees on Pepe Kara. You lied to us. And I want to affirm my statement last night that you keep lying to the people of Nima. And this deal has been passed. Nothing he can do about it. Nothing he can say about it. He positioned himself as the icon of advocacy. And when the time reaches for him to push the argument, you could have stood your ground in the house. I will sign for the 1 billion, but this 200 million, I'm not signing because of the 200 million. You couldn't say that. You walk out without any single statement. And you came here tonight to tell us that you didn't sign because of the 200 million. You walk out of session. That's a lie. Stop playing fool out of the people of Nima, Senator. We'll say the truth to you. And if that causes you to say we are opposition platform, so be it. But one thing we know is that we are not an opposition platform. We stay here and say the truth. The garrison that is here tonight, we go after him sometime. The superintendent, we go after her. Koga and all of the people, we go after them. So if you think that we go after you, you did the wrong thing, we went after you, and you say we are opposition, so be a senator, but you are lying to the people of Nima, and we need you to change. I will stop here for now. Go to you, Councillor Yelu and Veteran Matheson.
I think you couldn't have just said more better than what you said just now.
When the councillor come to me and lay your brother.
Yeah, please let us understand that the deception, the senator is an intellectual. That one, let's take it from there. But the MD have been signed by the executive AML. Today, the very projection, the very meeting they had the few days, where they're talking about zero, the cleanness and this and that, is within the 6.18 million. That we're carrying the money to 7.6 million. When you subtract the 6.18 million, Nima is level 1.5 million of the soil development fund that are coming from Metal Steel. So when you come to us and tell us that you don't support a board, you have already apportioned the money how you're going to use the 7 million. And in the 7 million Nima get, in it or 200 million, 6.186 million is for Nima. In the same 200 million, this government also signed on the Simpo River Bridge to Bowater South. With that 50 million is coming from the 200 million in that same budget. But the government already committed the country that our counterpart funding is funded a month. And the senator will also believe that it had not been passed. No, it had been signed. They are just waiting. Like I said today in my post, what they are doing now is how to put the baby outside. Nothing more, nothing less. They are struggling on how to put the baby outside. The baby have been born. But how you going to put the baby also is the situation. So look, and the other issue he said about PYJ Polytechnic is sad. From January up, the budget was passed in January all the way to October. You didn't get a university anything. The outturn from January to October is zero. You know that in 2024, that old man was crying. I don't even write of President Florent Iyasongbe to help his university. And now you come to the NEMA people on a NEMA platform and say, look, the university. This is why I told you, I said, look, in the additional fund that can be raised by the lawmaker, trust me, it is not automatic. Because you say Freeport, you say you get 1 million, but we think the money is going to get at 2 million. When Freeport finish collecting 1 million in the national budget and contribute it, when you call Freeport, you say, look, we told you we can only get 1 million. You finish. So that additional legislative funding that you're talking about will not come. That's why PYJ University is suffering, because the additional funding was not generated. And once it's not generated, you will not get it. All the things he's talking, if those things were in our core budget, line by line, we will be celebrating them. But to wait on legislative or generation to say, the money LTA is going to get 3 million, but carry to 4 million. Freeport is going to get 2, but carry to 1 or 3 million. LPRC is going to get 5, but carry to 6. Maritime is going to get 3, but carry to 4. When the institution tell you, say, we didn't raise the money, what's going to happen? So all the things talking about clinic, that's zero. All the things talking about roads, that's zero. All the things talking about drugs, that's zero. These things should be in the core budget. So technically, if you say the 200 million, he's not supported, then he just telling us that even for our whole county budget, if you subtract the 1.5 million, you know how much NEMA just subtracted apart from Jackson Fairdo, which is an autonomous body, but subtract the 1.5 from the 7.8 million. It means everything that passes around in NEMA is yet less than 300,000. Why will it do for county like NEMA? We should be very, very careful and meticulous enough. For me, I don't come on the platform because it's politics. No. I took my time to go through the budget. See how I downloaded the whole budget. And I went through the budget very cleanly. I was very meticulous about the budget. And what I discovered is what I said yesterday. And I stand by it. NEMA got nothing in this budget. If you the 6.18, it is like you get our whole field of money and you take peanuts from there, and then we should celebrate it. You get 45 million for it, giving us 6.18, 34 million gone. Then you want all to be celebrating? No, I will not celebrate that. To close, let us be sincere. Like I told Lorena the last time, the law is the law. The law didn't say when a boat is set up. The law said when you collect the money, it goes to the revenue, the consolidated account for that county. When the boat is set up, the board approves the transfer of the money from the consolidated account to your county account. Why the money is not projected? Why the money is not in the budget? We're talking about 45 million here. 45. It can fix our roads. We will not think about drugs. Our schools will be repaired. The chairs will be fixed for the children, and a lot of things will be done for our county. 45 million, that's small money. You see the trigger game he played. He telling me I should go sue. We did it before, the threshold bill, because I was from NEMA. The late Michael Jones and us went to the Supreme Court. You know what the court told us? We should wait until there is an injury. Now, they are the lawmakers. They are the direct representation of the people. They should be made enough and come to us. You can come, I can do that pleading tonight. And tell me, say, do the pleading, and we in our name. I will do it for them free of charge. And we can put NEMA's lawyer together to go and defend for us to get out 45 million. But they must agree that the pleading will be done in their name. Not all because tomorrow this issue of standing will be done, or the budget are not being passed, we'll let it enjoy your first. But for them, they are the lawmaker. They can say we made a case and nothing happened, and because of that, this is why we're coming to the court. The law is the law. And this rescue government, one of the key pillars of rescue is rule of law. So you cannot come to power on rule of law and be the same one violating the very laws that you should protect. If you say CDC got a month, that's what CDC is. We're not in power. That's why you came. And since you came, do the right thing. You cannot continue to do the wrong thing and come and sugarcoat it and think that we are foolish people here. On this platform, we are not against the senator. He's my good brother. We talk brother to brother. The vice president is my nephew. We got no personal issue. The only thing is that we got policy difference.
Thank you.
So
Thank you so much, Council.
Let our jealousy protect Nima and Mr. CEO, the host, and the panelists. We will always say to you, we are at your disposal. When it comes to this critical issue, we will be available.
Thank you.
Make sure Nima get her due share. Thank you so much. I'm pleasure to always be among great men. And
we'll make sure we'll be there for that wedding. There, even though we're in December, we'll make sure we'll be there for that wedding. So I just want to also make a call here to our folks who are, we can disagree with people without calling them liars and stuff like that. To my son Junior, I think that calling our senator a liar, I think that was wrong. We need to slow down how we address our senator. Myself, I disagree with on some things, but I won't take it back. Let me finish. We don't go that far, right? So this is our leader. The same way we address Senator Koga and then the other folks that come here, the same accord we should give to Senator Nyan Twine when he comes here. So on behalf of the platform, I want to say I don't think we should be using that word. You can disagree with me and say what is not true. Councilor Yelu just said the same thing. He disagreed with him on issues, made his point, counter-argue without calling him name. So overall, I think it was a great show. To come and sit in the hot seat is not easy. To come and sit here intellectually, to be honest, has been.
CEO, are you closing?
Yeah. I'm closing, Chief. I'm on the closing point there.
All right.
So I think the fact that he came here and took questions from everyone. We need more of these. We need more of this from our leaders in the county, from Liberia, to come on here and try to talk to our people. Let's disagree on policy issue, and still find a common ground. Nima is all we have. We can disagree all day. Nima will still be our common ground. So hopefully his coming on here and other leaders coming on here will pave the way for the leaders who have not been able to come on here to make the opportunity to come and speak to our people in and around Nima County. So I just want to say that and close. That's my closing statement there, Vet Honorable Malfasin.
Thank you so much.
I think Sarah's complaining. Let him go, and then I can come afterwards.
So my brother Sarah's time is almost 3:00. We are almost 3:00.
Yeah.
So Sarah's need to go.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. It was a great show, though. The senator spoke well, even though some of what he said misrepresented the truth. What I want to bring to everyone's attention, Marina keeps attempting to blackmail this platform. I think the CEO needs to call her to order. When the senator spoke about this platform being used against him and Jeremiah Cohn, she said that's true. She said that's true. She alluded to what Nyama alleged, and it was wrong. You can be on a platform and you don't expect us to sit here only because call member pays you $600 every month from our people's money, and you expect us to clap our hands. It is wrong. You don't expect us to sit here to clap our hands because you are given paycheck by Jeremiah Cohn's office every month on company or whatever you call it, and because we oppose it, and you expect this platform to sing praise the vice president. It is wrong. We constitutionally have our right to speak our minds. That is inscribed in our constitution. So, and if people should keep doing things, to our opposition, it should be people like Matheson, because that their government in power, not ANC in power. You support the ANC. ANC did not win; they got 1%. So, see what they is on the show. Now, single day, see what they will catch feeling when people talk about Unity Party. You will not see Veteran David catching feeling. Even people Peterson Walker, those are poor Unity Party people. Well, because it is about NIMBA, they contribute to the discussion. And it annoys me when I see you getting feeling when people talk about Unity Party. I think it is wrong. You need to refrain from blackmailing, attempting to blackmail this platform. What told this senator's deliberation tonight, I think even though he was not too honest, 100% with all of what he said, but he spoke well. He spoke like a leader. You know, the thing with fear is to not stand for the truth. People want to initiate themselves with power, and they are not, willing to say the truth, because when the truth is being said, somebody will take offense. The senator knows the truth. Call member should not be using our money the way she does. She should not be making extravagant travels with our money. She has a salary. If you want to give people exposure, she will use her salary to travel to places. If you want to go to family, she can use her salary to bring people along. But this woman uses the money the way she wants. And if the law is the council, the 9-man council should make decision for the lawmaker as they delegated the power to them, if that is the argument, then Congress is also in violation, because the very council that represent the lawmakers, the council is incomplete. They need to have 9-member council, but Congress is operating with 7. And Councilor Yellow said, in fact, the framework of the very law were in error for not outlining the caliber of people that should be on the council. Those are beggars. Those are people who are not even used to money. You will not see somebody like Veteran Matheson David, who is a financial expert, to checkmate somebody to say no to call. So somebody like Sarah, people really have not played with money before. And somebody as Cole is, if she goes to you overnight with money and say, listen, we'll give you this, you got to sign. That's how she's spending the money in her own way.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Council.
No, let me close this note. I don't have the time to ask the senator. We should even be making recommendation for them to repeal that particular portion that gives all that leverage to be spending the money, or they cannot repeal it. The power to the lawmakers, the very statute can outline the caliber of people that are supposed to be on the council. You can put beggars, people who are not used to financial management.
Thank you.
Expect that Cole will not use them. So the senator did not with the position by walking out of session. He should have done something. He should have said something. I want to appreciate Musa. That's what honesty is about. I want to appreciate our senator for me to know Kuga will always stand in the interest of the people. But now it's not 100% dishonest. People are embarrassed because if you get superintendent working the county, painting buildings, and people are saying this person.
Thank you, Council. Council, we have to go. Thank you, Council. We have to go. Veteran Matheson has given me 2 minutes after you will go to Chairman Walker. Chairman Walker to Madam Lorena to share with you, and then we close it for today.
Matheson, your Peking Sarah referred to you as financial expert, or you in the financial field now. I want to know.
Definitely I would have spoken to that. Yeah, I'm not a financial expert. I studied environmental science and engineering, and then I studied natural resource management using geoinformation science and remote sensing. So I'm practically a natural science kind of person. And right now, I'm doing programming, agricultural technology, and leadership. But for me, it doesn't matter most uh, degree education and the rest of it. I really don't tend to boast with education, whether I went to school or I didn't go to school. I don't care about that because it does not define a person. It's just a title. Until you can utilize it in the right way that benefits the people, then it defines you. So seldom, or I really don't talk about education. I just want to say it was a good show, to be frank. The senator presentation was quite to the point. And for me, I don't see any lie. I think Yan was, and I'm saying Yan not in any disrespect. He was being practical. He was being truthful. He expressed his constraint. He's a member of the governing Unity Party, and as member of the Unity Party, there are expectations in promoting the programs and policies of the party, or for the sake of NIMA. And his advocacy over the period led him to a step aside. Was it good for him to step aside? Kind of, with his, position, I think I kind of saw some sense of merit. And I would say, for the record, it didn't come as a surprise to me because I had the opportunity to be at the university when Yan graduated. He graduated as a torchbearer of the state-owned university. And when he went to Australia again, he brought pride to Liberia. So he's one of our best. And I think leadership transitioning to young and prepared people like Yan, it means a whole lot for our community, for our country, because their position, their discussion, and everything can tell you that sense of responsibility and knowledge or expertise when it comes to the subject matter. I think he should really avail himself to have more interactions with people. He should step up to taking leadership, to making sure that the county is much more coordinated and leaders speaking as a unit. And I think by that, it will guard the vice president, and they will guard the chances of NIMBA. It's one thing to just blindly think that, okay, this is the closest NIMBA has come, and for the fact that this is the closest, everybody will fall in line and everybody must single file and just follow the noise. It won't be so. It will be by your own effort and how hard you work, how sincere you are with the people, and what kind of qualities of leadership that you provide. That in itself will say it. And then they should not be very much allergic to critical voices. That's not part of leadership. To think that somebody is against the vice president or the senator of a county, to think that the vice president is popular, the senator is popular, and anyone who comes to say things the way things are, it means the people will just go against you. I think that's a misconception. And I believe he's intellectual enough. He will realize that and will start to change and kind of redefine their engagement strategy with the people. Because power is inherently, the people. So you cannot do anything without the people. We all took the queue. We traveled the butchers. We went to the various places to make sure that the power they have become, legit. And so for the fact that we labor for it, we also must be able to direct it in a meaningful way. And that's what we are doing. Every time we come here, we try to direct power in a meaningful way so that power can be responsive to people who give the power. So it was a good show, and thank you to all. He did extremely well. I give it to him, and I urge him to go out and do more. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Chairman Peterson Walker, let's hear you. Thank you for being here tonight to us, well, Chief.
Thank you so much, Gian, and thank you to all the panelists. This was a great discussion tonight. I think the senator did extremely well. That's you don't take that from the Unity Party, executive. They always stand there. Even if it's black, they make it white from their explanation. I'm not saying what he said tonight is black, but I'm just telling you that they are very, very much good at speaking. And so tonight, from what I heard from him, he did extremely well. He made himself explicit, but he needs to get out there, like Maverson said. He said he has not been going out there in what have you. When we listened to him at the time he appeared at OK FM, look, we were moved, and a lot of people started reaching out. Man, who is this new senator that just came from Nima? The guy, he's well, articulated. He did well. So he can try to start reaching out there, not sitting in the corner. But I just want to come to the aspect of our budgeting he mentioned. Liberia practiced project-based budgeting. And we practice that and use a medium-term expenditure framework with that PSI being managing the public sector investment. With that, it clearly tied to population. It clearly tied to priorities. Who are those making the priorities? Like he said, it is the president budget. Yes, true. But policymaker can make input. So if you sit and wait the budget come from the room, get to you, you start to argue it, you will not make point because there will be nobody in that room will allow their district, their county, their region budget to be cut down and given to different people. I still to say they need to work more. Our policymakers need to work more and get some smart demands within the house of the budgeting so that they can be able to guard NIMA interest. Before the information comes from that budget room, comes out, there should be something there. Lastly, I just want to make some statement to Sis Lorena. She has been very, vocal about the aspect of the law being practiced halfway. Sis Lorena, I want to say, yes, you're making a point, but that point doesn't work, especially with the decentralization policy. The decentralization policy is in two frameworks, two stages, but they are all four under decentralization. The first stage is the administrative. And when you get to the administrative stage, it talk about the ministry, the central ministry, like the health, education, public works, and agricultural sector, managed centrally, being able to distribute power within those administrative areas. And then the last area that has to do with devolution, strictly talk about the LGA. That's the fiscal decentralization, and that has been signed into law. That means when this is signed, it talks about how money transfer should be done, how every county, every region should receive their benefit. With that, no country is responsible if the government or the president does not do his work according to the policy to set up a goal. What the counties will be looking up to is to get a fair share, because NIMA is living up to the agreement of the LGA. That is why today the superintendent will make business with the county council and extends NIMA money. So in that vein, government should be able to reciprocate by giving what belongs to NIMA. So clearly, when it comes to these two stages, we have crossed these two stages. We are crossing. Today we have a councillor that is a legal person with the county administration that is working with the county administration. Today we get county council set up within the administration. The county council is the local fiscal board. And then the national fiscal board is what we're talking about. So indeed, let's look at that and keep it that way, that the government needs to give NIMA money with no respect, due respect to the ministry authority that are giving us the information. This are not being set up, that's why we are not giving the money. No, it doesn't hold water in the state.
Thank you, Honorable. Thank you. So you must count when you see big guests coming.
No. I mean, I'm sorry. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Walker. Madam Lorena, don't care. Let's hear you after that. Siawete will take us home.
Okay, thank you. I really like the way the show went tonight, and I like the way people who said who thought what I was saying last night and even said last week was wrong, how they not swift to be like, oh, but they shouldn't want our money because they set up. At least now you know that the law is not being implemented. And Mr. Walker, you know that the decentralization, the revenue sharing law is predated upon 4 factors. 2 of those factors are strictly in interest of NEMA, because one of the factors says the population of the county, and we know we are next to Maserati in population. And one of the factors says the landscape, and we know we are even bigger than Maserati. So 2 factors have favored us. Then another factor say the physical efficiency, how is the county able to manage your money? And the 4th factor say poverty index, meaning poor county, the rewardee will be receiving money from us. And also determination will be made by the physical board. So we know in 2021, this law was passed. And then in 2022, nothing was done about it. It provided that there should be regulations that will be set up for the finalizing phase. And that regulation was adopted in 2024. And that regulation calls for the setting up of that physical board. So I'm not saying the law did not pass, neither am I the spokesperson of the executive. I'm just saying the reality. So for me, from my background, so I don't just quote theories, and like yesterday in church, somebody was booking me, oh, you working to the ministry of health now? I said, no. The person say, yeah, you are working, plenty of work, and talk too much. The poor say, maternal, they reduce it. So for me, I'm not talking about what is written in paper. I'm talking about the reality, what has happened, and why did it happen. That's what I'm saying. So that revenue sharing law will take full effect. And you must know that even the local government act is not even in the phase of decentralization yet. We know that, right? So if it is good if NEMA as a county or other county that got interest in it can go to the Supreme Court farm. What I said last week and I said last night is that our lawmakers to push the executive so that the public can sign the document so our money then can start coming. That's what I said, because as soon as do a sign, they will start to and go ahead with processing. And one thing I'd like to say that is that Sarah was talking about me trying to blackmail the show. We can disagree with people and still remain respectful to them. But the fact that you want to use anybody, and I'm not saying it to he as Sarah, anybody, for example, if I'm not supporting CMC, so I want to use the platform to insult Musa Belete, Honorable Musa Belete. I mean, so you are not only talking, you are not discussing issue, you are discussing a person's character. So that's one. So when the senator made a statement, I said, yes, I agree to it. Many times I have said on this show, if a panelist make a statement against somebody, it is the right of the CEO or the host to say, this is not a view of the platform, but a view of this individual. I have said that many times, and I see the senator saying, yesterday people call the senator a hustler, a liar, deceptive, and many things. So if you leave the issue and start to attack the person, it means that you malign the person's character. And people have said the same thing about the vice president. Yeah, Kerabo Gonglo, I said, I joined to. Yeah, I said, no. You cannot come, you will say off the show. As soon as there's a topic about the VP, he calls on the phone and make all the statements. I said, no, CEO, you should be able to say, this is the position of Kerabo, not the platform. Other than that, it will be interpreted otherwise. So, and I said, stand by that. I'm not blaming the show. You can be respectful to somebody. They disagree with that person. This is not a court to say whatever we say at must be the final, but we must respect people. And I view, because to be opinionated means you got emotional control, you know somebody else got our own view. Other than what you got.
Thank you, Madam Lorena. We have to go. Thank you. Siawete, Mr. Siawete Zogetua. Take us home, Chief.
Thank you, Junior. Thanks to the senator. I mean, he did exceptionally well. The big brother Walker said, one thing I think it was good that we lay out to the senator in his face about this platform. I mean, with no form of deception, we created this platform to give out information to the citizens of Nimba and generally in the country. So sometimes the misrepresentation of what they give out there, sometimes when we push them, they also unveil it. And that was actually totally wrong of him. From the time we established this platform, I was the first person who kept being at his back to come when he raised the meter argument. And that was very good and it's still in the interest of the Nima people. So when you are fighting to also have a conversation or such, and people try to derail, I think that is also unfortunate. And they also need to know that this platform is now a United Party platform. We'll get that first view. That's what make the show. What they are doing to us sometimes, they don't do it to other station network. They won't. This communication network is really, that's why we are expanded it. It's being really interpreter and the rest of the place. So where we have issue, we have phone, you can call us, but you can publicly to also drag our institution and it become also to protect. But on the overall, the show was good. I actually admire him. And when you see the Unity Party folks, we don't pretend that those guys from our opposite Lone Star they invicted. We speak to the real conversation. That's why you see most of our own government officials, we are the one who beat their back. You saw how our very high on Senator Twine last night. We spoke last night, but he understand the argument. And to conclude, John, I listen to says Lorena, my argument about the fiscal issue or the fiscal bull about Nima not getting a share. My argument is not about it's not a law. My argument is the PFN law says the act that was passed in 2021 says once that budget, the allocation is made, whether fiscal bull, no fiscal bull, that allocation should be made and sent to the consolidated account. All necessary procedures should follow after that allocation is made. Why is it NEMA was left out in the budget? And graciously, we brought that on our tour end that they should take on the lawsuit. And on our Europe put it very well. They are the representation of the people. They are on the budget committee. And he alone cannot do anything when it comes to the vote. That's why when it comes to laws in the country, the smaller counties will always take the day because they are in majority than the bigger counties. So it also requires real legislative work, to work around the clock. But on the overall, he's also cut between the scissors because if our institution is ruling, and then also from a country that you got to be very careful that it's highly political. Because any attempt right now, Nya is going to election in the next few years. It's also a threat to a job. I know him to be a very serious man that understands even the budgeting and all other policies that are involved. But he's very careful about his word. When we even asking about the expenditure aspect in the country, you saw how he approached it. So that shows that he got a very huge challenge to balance himself in that middle. But I mean, he did extremely well, exceptionally tonight. And we also hope that this will not be a last. Because if you don't unveil the information to the people, the information will be carried out wrongly. But each time you appear and explain to the people, that's why you see honorability. Each time we call him, he's here. All the lawmakers. So we urge him to also do the same, because if he's not providing the information to the people, they will get their own way, they will get their own way to categorize you the way they think. So thank you very much. And big brother, we hope you also be joining us frequently when you have the time. So because most time we'll be discussing a lot of issues. Gion, I think the folks are not coming. Let me just use 30 seconds. We are hosting the Nima Quado guys tomorrow. And on Tuesday, we'll also be hosting Honorable Prince Pierre Howard, the owner of the Avino, the Avino Hotel Incorporated. He got some, stuff. We spoke, and we are accepted to host him on Tuesday. He will be here. Then maybe on Wednesday, hopefully we might host another person, but it will be announced maybe tomorrow. So, but tomorrow we are hosting on the Nima Kwado. Tuesday, we are hosting the King Azara will be on his platform. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Siawete. Thank you, former
Thank you.
Chairman Peterson Walker. Thank you, Veteran Mafelson. Thank you, Madam Lorena, and the rest of the folks that were here tonight. Want to appreciate all of you for joining the show. And those of you too who listen to us via radio stations, we want to say thank you for listening. Those of you too who are listening on Facebook and YouTube, we want to say thank you. Thank you for all the comments in the comment section. We appreciate all of them. We're going to be back here again tomorrow on the Heat Hour, same time, same TV platform. Thank you so much for being here. Have a good night.